Good morning, folks. I'm just waiting for people to show up. Good morning, Cameron. Good morning, Brian. Welcome to the chats. Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee with Rodney and Friends. Hope you guys' weekend starting out well. Hey, Cameron, do you ever have that cup of sake for me, brother? Jack Sparky Frawn. All right, brother. Anytime you can. Well, this morning sunrise was nice. And it's actually clouding up again. So the sun's not even shining at all now. At least I got a good sunrise. Ron Brown, good morning, buddy. How are things up there in Jersey? Oh, they're experiencing some bad weather, Brian. It was good, Ron. It was all right. It a lot better. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. I mean, when I went out this morning, I couldn't see any kind of stars at all. And so I thought it was just going to be cloudy. And I talked to Michael earlier before he went up. And Martha Kerrigan, good morning. How are you today? Let's see here. Martha, Brian, Ron. Lost my train of thought there for a minute. Anyway, hope you all doing well. Those of you that just popped in. I sent my waiting for some of the regulars to come in. If they come in, it takes some time sometimes. So hopefully they're checking their emails. Dozra 74, good morning. Good morning again. You're in the UK. Awesome. Awesome. As you can tell, I'm wearing my Australia hat today. Susan Lee, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Excuse me. So anyway, good morning, Eric. How you doing today, brother? Tell Tiff I said good morning, and check your email. Tomas, good morning, my brother. How are you? Good morning, Tiff. Yes, thank you, Susan Lee. Thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate it. You know what? I'll give myself a thumbs up. How's that? I'll show them. Oh, I got you, Eric. So you got to work today, huh? I'm sorry to hear that. It happens to the best of us. It's all right. I worked 14 hours yesterday. That's not exactly what I want to do on a Friday, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Hey, Eric, anytime, brother. I know if you got to work, you got to work. Tell Tiff she can join if she wants to. So I gotta tell you all, this has been one crazy winter. Warm one day, freezing the next. Warm one day, freezing the next. And I'd like to introduce the one, the only, Peter Carroll. Good morning, Peter.
Morning, Rodney. How you going?
It's going good, brother.
Yeah, that's good.
You?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. It's morning here now as well, too. 12:01 a.m. So.
Yep. Wow. But you're in your summer.
Yeah, well, at times you wouldn't think so. Yeah,
but. Good morning, Wendell. Wendell Live is in the house. I watched your show the other day. He did a live show on Wednesday, I believe it was. Man, that guy is awesome. If you haven't seen Wendell Live, you need to check him out. You really do. He makes some great videos. He does covers, song covers, and he's good at it.
Okay. Yeah, must check him out.
Good morning. I'm sorry, Peter. I stepped on you.
I just say I must check out his site one day. I know you've told us about him before, so I haven't got around to looking it up yet. So
he's good. I really enjoy his videos. Good morning, Mel. I missed you. Rob Random, good morning. Martha Kerrigan, Tomas O'Sullivan, and who else? Adrian Metro Drones, good morning. And now we've got Mr. Ron Lockwood, who apparently is at work.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Oh, I'm actually at the gym.
Oh, you're at the gym. Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to get to see you work out, are we?
Well, maybe. Waiting for that coffee to perk me up a little bit.
Let me see if that's better. Good morning, Dan, Drone Worship. Good morning. Love my drones. Good morning, Ed. How are you today?
Yeah, good morning to all in chat. Good to see you all here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Morning again, Ron.
Morning again, yeah. I can't see who's in chat here this morning, but
okay.
Not with me. Yes, I can. Yeah. The only thing is I can't reply.
Whoops.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, just like that. So, Jack Sparky Front. He informed me this morning. He had said he had a confession to make. that he lost my cup.
Oh, there we go.
And so now he's going to get picked on. He found it, or I should say his wife found it. So apparently it didn't mean enough to him for him to go looking for it. His wife had to find it. And she probably found it by accident. What do you think, Peter? Ron?
Who lost what?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Jack Sparky Fron. He he lost my cup. He confessed to me he lost my cup. He said he lost it some time ago.
That's a party foul, dude.
And he confessed it this morning.
Oh, you don't do that. What's your friend?
Well, I mean, he should have known. He's seen my live streams to know, enough times to know that I'm going to harass him about it.
Oh, that's a must.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleeping Bear. Good morning, Sleeping Bear. How are you today? I've watched. If you haven't seen any of Sleeping Bear's videos, he's a pretty good FPV pilot. Man, my cat just ran by the window real fast. Wonder what's chasing him. So
6 o'clock here. Well, it's what, 8 o'clock your time, Rodney?
Yeah, 8:06. Yep.
Okay.
And it's Peter. What time is it there?
12:06 a.m. here on Sunday.
Yeah, he's into his Sunday morning.
Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is quite a difference. That's just amazing that we can all chit chat from around the world, and
Well, that's what's so amazing about technology, man. They say it way back. I remember them saying it in the 70s that technology will make the world smaller.
Right.
And in fact, it has.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The other thing too, Rodney, I don't know whether you heard, with the situation with Lloyd's dog, I put a donation in and I posted it on Facebook. My one friend from Hawaii saw the whole thing, and she's such a dog lover, and she wants to help so much. And basically, I'm going to exchange information with her and Lloyd today, but whatever is not picked up through the GoFundMe, she's going to cover the rest.
Awesome.
His dog's going to get his operation and make sure he gets taken care of. And I just, Jackie's a sweetheart. She used to be my partner for 2 years when I worked in California. But yeah.
That is so cool. People that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind telling you, I contributed.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I could have done more, but I did what I could. So
yeah. Some, that's what I just like about this group. Some people, like, oh, well, you're always on the internet and, on YouTube. And yeah, but I don't think some people understand what we've all established is a friendship, even though so many of us have not met,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. All I did was make the connection, but I'm really happy that I was able to do that for him. So, but yeah, I hooked the two of them up today. I'm going to call Jackie and Lloyd both and get them connected, and we'll make sure that everything happens. So, that's what I like about this, guys.
Yeah, that is cool, and you're right. This community that we're a part of, despite all the drama that happens, and which is going to always happen, but right. when one of us is down, there's people that are going to help, almost always.
Yeah,
and and that's one of the things I like about it. You know.
Yeah, that's what's I just enjoyed over the last year and a half, and that's why I was saying I'm hoping in next August that some of us can meet, and hang out for a day and go fly drones or do photography or whatever. So
yeah, that would be cool. Good morning, Chris Hope. Chris Hope is in the house. Excuse me.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, Chris Hope. I've got to talk to him. I've got something of interest for him. If he's here, like I said, Rodney, I can't reply in the chat, but
Here, let me help you out then.
Oh, morning.
Can you see that?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Chris, I have something of interest for you. I'll connect with you in the next day or so to see if you might be interested. Something I can send you. So
that is so true, Wendell. That is so true.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna finish up here at the gym and then going out four-wheeling today.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we got a fresh snow. I can't describe, Roddy, how in the Black Hills here, how pretty it is. We got like, I don't know, 2-3 inches of fresh powder, real powdery snow. And gonna go out and put my mountain lion cameras out today and just go for a ride and go for a hike. And yeah.
No, cool. You gonna get video of it, of course.
I'm thinking I'm gonna take the cameras with me and maybe make a little video today.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Share some of that beauty of the Black Hills with us.
Yeah. I wish I had my Skydio, but the way it's going, I don't think I'm gonna see that till next winter. But a lot of people have been canceling. Did you order one, Rodney?
No.
No.
It's an interesting bird, but I really don't have a need for something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm happy with my Spark and happy with my P4P, and once I learn how to fly FPV, I'm sure I'll be quite happy with that. So, don't get me wrong. I think it's an awesome drone, but it's just not for me,
Right. So, well, I'm looking to have it, like chase my motorcycle or the four-wheeler, whatever.
Absolutely. That's what it's for.
Yeah. And, with all these cancellations, maybe I'll get mine sooner than expected.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
So.
Did you ever see the little video they did? Excuse me. The video of their facility. It's really, really small. I just don't know how they're doing production that, in any kind of a quick manner. It just doesn't look that big.
Yeah. Well, do you think maybe they might be farming it out? The manufacturing out?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's a possibility. I'm anxious to get mine,
Well, yeah, that could, I mean, good morning, Mitch. How you doing today? For people like you that ride bikes, ride four-wheelers, people that ski, that's a good drone for them. I get it, and
right.
it's just not me because I don't do those activities.
Right. No. I'm pretty anxious. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. So, and again, I have the places to fly it to here. Up in the mountain.
Absolutely. You live in an area where I would love to live in, actually.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can handle the winters.
The funny thing is, I had to open my big gap the other day. Like, things have been good so far this winter, and they actually have. They have been good, but we just got word that next week is going to be the Dakota winters that we're normal to. Yeah, the 15, the 20, the 25 below. And I'm like, oh God.
Well, that ought to make your job interesting, if nothing else.
It does. It actually makes it a lot more difficult. We on the helicopter, when it gets to that point, we will discuss with the pilot as to what we would accept when you're at 20, 25 below weather and you get an accident out there. Somebody's trapped in the car. Sometimes it's a half hour. I've seen up to an hour of extrication.
Wow.
Am I going to stand out there for an hour? I can't dress, like the firemen can. They have full turnout gear and they're generally pretty warm. They're okay. But I can't dress like that,
Yeah.
And you got to watch things like IVs. They'll freeze sometimes in a matter of 15 seconds.
Oh, goodness, that's crazy.
So you got to be careful. But yeah, a lot of thinking before you accept, a mission in weather like this here. So we'll see. Think spring.
Yep, next spring. So, when was that show in Pennsylvania again? Is it February?
Oh, yes. Speaking of that, I just was with the boss yesterday, and it's early this year. I think it starts February 1st, and that's one of the things on my list to do today. I got to look at my dates and plan my flights, but I think I'm getting there around the 7th or something like that. I got to look again, but what I'm going to do is I'll contact you like in a couple days. I actually got a package I got to take to the mailbox. I guess sending you a package today. But as soon as I learn that, I will notify you. But I want to say, I think it's the 7th, the weekend of the 7th that I'll be here. Yeah. I think what I'll do is spend a couple days up there, and then where I used to live is about an hour west, and I'll spend a couple days with my friends there. So, hopefully, that'd be great, man, if you can make it up.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know if you heard of Steve Miller or if you know of him. He's sometimes in the chats. He lives up in that area, and he sent me a message and says if I come up there, he wants to meet up as well. So.
Okay.
That would be cool. That would be
cool. Yeah. Put a leash on your pocketbook when you come in. Oh my God.
I don't have to put a leash in my pocketbook. It's empty all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's many things that are tempting there to buy.
Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is.
But well, guys, I'm going to finish my workout. Wanted to say good morning, and hope you guys have a great weekend. Rodney, I will be in touch in the next day or two.
Okay.
And give you those dates. And then I said, if I don't get it in the mail today, I'm sending you a little something in the mail. If I don't get it out today, I'll get it out Monday.
Okay.
And if Chris,
I'm looking forward to seeing what it is.
Oh. I go like it. It's nothing big.
Speaking of which, I got this in the mail yesterday. It's a case.
Okay.
It's what's in the case.
Oh.
Probably a G-Max in there, I'd say.
Ah,
Okay. Yeah.
new toy.
New toy. Compliments of Rick Halber.
Okay.
Oh,
I haven't seen him in the chat. He must have fallen back to sleep.
Yeah.
That's okay. He's excused. This is
Yeah.
a cool looking thing, man.
Wow.
So he wanted to give me something that I could fly indoors, FPV, to help me practice for that 5-inch one when I go start flying it that Brent Nunley sent me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got to get busy and start learning how to do this so I don't let these guys down, or myself for that matter.
Now you're on the spot.
I am, and it's kind of a good thing because now I will be motivated enough to actually go through with it.
Right.
But I'm just so thrilled that he sent this to me.
Yeah. I'm actually getting something together to send to him as well. So I'm sending stuff all over the nation.
well, that's cool, Ron. Just keep it coming.
Yeah. Getting something for Tomas. Who else am I sending things? I have a list of people I'm sending some things out to. Kind of like a late Christmas.
Okay.
But anyhow, guys, I'm gonna keep moving here, and you guys have a great weekend, and and hope to catch up soon. And hopefully, I'll get that video today, Rodney.
I hope so too. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I want you to prove to me that you actually went out in the cold and snow.
Oh.
You got to prove it to me. Saying it is one thing. So there's your challenge.
No. Guess Peter, you're the witness, huh?
No, man. You just be safe.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I really care about is that you're safe.
Oh, now that you mention it, no, there will be video now.
Good. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. No. Oh, my. But alrighty, guys. Everybody be safe. Have a good weekend. And everybody in the chat, good morning. Have a great day. And we'll all talk to you soon.
All right, man. Take care, brother.
Bye, Ron.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
He is such a good guy. He really is.
He called in a couple of times on Matt's live stream today.
Yeah, I was watching it this morning, as a matter of fact, the one from last night.
Yeah, Chris Hope was there for quite a while too. It was good to see him.
Yeah, he was.
Till the big storm arrived.
Yeah, I grew up in that area of the country, and I tell you, those storms are crazy. Yeah. And we have Jack.
Hey, everybody. I gotta get this figured out. Hang on. Close that down and bring this up and hit that witchy-watchy and that thing over there. And
don't forget the thingamajig.
You got to do that.
He's frozen.
You forgot the thingamajig. Yeah.
He forgot the thingamajig.
Oh.
Okay. Are you back now?
I think so.
You froze up a little bit. That looks like he froze again.
Yeah.
Either that or he's really good at being a statue. What'd you say?
And froze up again. Oh.
You're breaking up there, brother.
How about now?
Oh, I heard that. How about now? But your video is still frozen.
Oh.
I know. Terrible, isn't it? Technology may bring the world closer, but it can sure be frustrating.
Yeah, certainly can.
There. Now I see some movement. Oh,
no, it's gone all good.
So, I guess I'm going to have to give Matt a call.
Yeah. He's got his daughter staying over with him for a few days. So.
Yeah, I saw her this morning too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounded like to me Adrian was putting the moves on her or trying to. We got to watch that, Adrian.
Yeah, you got to watch out for
Come on,
him.
Jack. Welcome back.
All right, let's try this now.
Welcome back, Jack.
Yeah, I'm out in my car, so. Are we still working?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Actually, you're working a lot better than you were earlier.
Well, I had YouTube open up while this was opened up, so that's probably what killed it. So I shut that off. So I can't see the chat, anybody. So.
Well, I'll try and flash it up for you if anybody says anything to you. I can't imagine they would.
Probably won't.
After all, you are.
Yeah, a couple loser. Thanks a lot. You're never gonna let me have that.
You
down
don't
our
things like that with me.
I've got mine. Never lost my cup. Got mine.
Yeah. Rub it in.
PhillyDroneLife has his. He says it leaks, but he still has it. He hasn't lost it yet.
Ugh, you guys.
Hey, Window Live, man. Thanks for coming in, brother. You have a great weekend, and see you next week, hopefully. And I'll see your next video, which I think comes out Monday. Is that right? Caleb Young, good morning.
Morning, everybody. It says it has a chat thing on here, but I don't think that'll pop up. Live comments. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Thomas has got a good point. He says, how can you lose a cup that size?
It's real simple. I'm bad at losing stuff. I lose my shoes if I don't put them in the right spot.
Good thing your head's attached then, huh? Oh, wait a minute.
No kidding.
You've already lost that. Oh, I cracked me up.
And no, I don't have the cup with me today because I didn't want to lose it.
If you've got it with you all the time, you won't lose it.
That's right.
I know.
Hey, I want to say good morning to Mason Kieser. Good morning.
Oh, this weather here is horrible.
Do I?
So this weather here is horrible. It's like 30-mile-an-hour winds, and it's 61 degrees right now. And by tonight, it's supposed to be down in the low 30s, in the 20s.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of weather we're going to be having too.
It's coming. The front's coming through right now through our area.
Yeah, we're supposed to get thunderstorms and rain tonight. I don't know, sunny tomorrow with a high of 64.
Yep. And then the bottom will drop right out. Bloop.
Let me see. Let me go to the 10-day forecast and see what happens.
I'll turn you around so you can see outside. It's just crappy.
Oh, yeah, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're going to be in the 50s all the way up to 50s and 60s all the way up till Thursday. And then it drops down to the 40s, which still isn't too bad.
No, not for January, no. Not for this time of year. Oh, since I'm sitting here, since, I always bring my stuff with me. This is the actual bag that I got when my wife bought me the Mini for Christmas.
Oh, okay.
Can you see it? All right.
Yeah. Here, hang on a minute.
There, let me show you here.
Nice.
On the side of this, if you can see that right there, let me move it over. This is actual USB port. I got a little cable here to plug all my plug the mini in, plug the controller in. I got a battery backup inside. This is an actual like a camera bag that they gave us. And I'd show you the landing pad that's here, but I don't want to open it up here. I'll probably kill myself because the thing's like 4 foot wide.
Wow. Yeah. Don't open it up.
No, when I first got it, I thought it was just a little, like a 2-footer, and I opened it up and it smacked me in the face. I thought I broke my nose. Here's a little weird.
The same thing happened to me too.
And the new video that I just put out is on this phone right here. It's about this phone. I don't know if you can see how cracked up it is.
Yeah.
Well, I have a screen protector that's glued, so I can still use the phone.
Oh, okay.
The gentleman here at work had it in his pocket, brand new phone, Samsung Galaxy S10. Didn't even have it like 2 weeks. He dropped it out of his pocket and ran it over with his car.
Oh no!
And he pulled
He
the back
gave
of
it
it
to you?
Yeah, because he was just going to throw it out. Here's the back of it.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
But if you look at the camera, there's not a scratch on that lens for the camera.
Well, that's
So
cool.
So I can still use the cameras.
Good.
But I did the video, and now I can still use the phone because I'm just going to use it for the mini anyways.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what
Okay.
And he just gave it to me. He goes, "Here, take it. I don't want it because I'm just going to throw it out." I was like, "No, don't throw it out. I'll take it." Christ almighty, a $900 phone? I'll take that phone off your hands. Thank you very much. That's about it, really. I didn't get the Fly More package, so I just got one battery. But I have yet to fly it because it's been like this. Every day I get off, it's either raining or it's snowing or it's too windy or it's just too cold. So
go on, get out there and fly it, man.
It's too windy. It'll blow away.
I flew mine this morning in the wind.
Hey, I lost your cup. You think I'll lose my drone too?
It'd be something else to tease you about.
Yeah, thanks. That's all we need. I can hear that conversation now with my wife. Here, honey, I lost my drone. I got to get another one. Fat chance of that happening, mister.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate. I lost my very first Phantom 3 standard. I lost it in the lake behind my house here.
Oh.
And I remember I was scared to death to call my wife. Tell her about it. But you know what? She was surprisingly understanding. And I still managed to buy another one. So.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No. So, Mel, check your email, please, if you can. So I did get an email from Matt, and he is, like you said, Peter, with his daughter, and they're, so.
How's Matt doing over there? How's the fire situation over there, Peter?
Yeah, it's still pretty bad. And the weather sort of eased off a bit today. It was fairly hot and windy yesterday, but it's cooled down. And the fire activity has sort of calmed down a bit. But what's been happening just the last couple of days, there's been sort of several large fires, and a lot of them have combined into one sort of huge fire, or a couple of huge fires. Yeah, so it's burnt well over sort of several million acres have been burnt out now. So that's really bad.
That's horrible. All those animals.
Yeah. And rather than trying to put the fire out, they're sort of putting all their efforts into just protecting property and townships and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, so and it's going to take a long time for them to burn out, apparently. So unless we get some heavy rain, which there's nothing much forecast in the immediate future.
Yeah, see, that's what happens in the western United States too.
Yeah.
Especially out in California, because when fires start out there, if it's during the time when the Santa Ana winds pick up, those fires they burn so hot and so fast.
Yeah, it's the same because we've got most of the forests here are eucalyptus trees, and they're full of eucalyptus oil, and when they burn, they just sort of explode, and
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about the
you get a strong wind behind them. There's no way you're going to stop it.
They said they arrested 24 people for starting the fires. That's what I read somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but
yeah, I think there have been some, but I think a lot of the fires have been started by lightning strikes and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, there have been a few people arrested for starting fires, but which is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, so hopefully things will improve shortly. But
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, well, I've been praying for you folks there in Australia, with these fires and stuff. I mean, Matt's put up a couple of videos where he stopped. Now, I don't know if he had to stop because of the smoke or what, or if he just stopped showing it. But you could tell from the smoke that it was intense.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem, Chris. It's good to have you in the chat anyway, brother. John, RC Funds Diversion. Morning.
Morning, RC Funds. Mr. Chris Hope, Mr. O'Sullivan. I'm just reading the chats real quick. There we go. I got about 2 or 3 more minutes. I gotta get back in.
Oh, you just on a break?
Yeah, I just I'm taking a quick break.
Okay, well, that's a good thing to do. Take a quick break.
Yeah, I get here at 6:30 in the morning, go till 6:30 at night.
Oh wow! And how many days a week do you do that?
Well, my shift is actually 4 days on, 4 days off. It shifts every week. It'll.
Oh, okay.
One more day, I'll work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week I'll work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I've worked those kind of shifts before too. It actually kind of nice if you think about it.
And when you get 4 days off, yeah. If you get a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that makes a great weekend.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I worked my first job after I retired out of the Navy. I worked Monday through Thursday and was off for the weekend. And then the next week I was off. I worked Monday through Wednesday and then was off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, but it didn't pay very much. And I just getting out of the Navy, I got a second job. So I didn't get to take full advantage of it.
Trying to think of anything else going on. Not really.
Yeah.
Working on the man cave in the basement at my house. I'm slowly coming together, so I'll have a place to go.
Cool.
Do some live streaming down there once I get it all together. It's me and the dogs. It's their place. They extricate themselves.
Yeah.
They take a peek.
Let me
out there.
RC Fun. John asked me a question. I was a data systems technician, John, in the Navy. He was asking me what rate I was. So basically, I worked on tactical computers and display equipment. You got it there, Mel. See you in a bit. So I hope that answered your question, John. I think he's another one that I think lives here in Virginia that I want to get hold of. There's Caleb Young. No, I can't even think of his name. His name is Dan. Oh man.
You know, the memory is first to go when you get old, Rodney.
Well, that started happening years ago. Oh, he's. Oh, God.
I don't remember when I started losing my memory.
What's my name again?
It's written on the screen.
I'm trying to think, John. I'm trying to think of his YouTube channel's name. I'll be drone. That's who it is. That hurt. I'm going to take a break.
He's got to go take a nap after that one.
Yeah, no kidding. Brain hurts. Anyway, yeah, it's I thought, like I said earlier, I thought it was going to be cloudy today and didn't think the sunrise would be very good, but it turned out to be pretty good.
You caught it right at the right time.
I did. And hello, Carlos. How you doing? Back from the skies in the house.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, hi, Carlos.
Eric, you have a good one, brother. Be safe. He's heading off to work.
Work. It's all we do is work.
Yeah, John, I did see your H. You started out as a DP, which was a data processing technician, and then there was you went radioman and then IT, and radioman turned into ITs. The Navy's changed quite a bit. So anyway, Mel should be joining us here shortly.
I'll join and I'll take off. I gotta get back in. But it was nice to be on real quick and say hi to everybody and own my new YouTube name, Jack Sparky Frog Cup Loser.
We may just change it to plain old Cup Loser.
Okay, I might change it myself. I'll just change everything in my Google account and everything's Cup Loser.
Don't worry.
Next time I come on, though, I will have that cup with me.
Jack, I'll probably forget here in about 10 minutes anyway.
About what?
About what were we talking about?
I don't remember.
No.
Am I on this thing? Is this thing on? Are we live?
Bit Rail Productions. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. Whoever just hopped in, let me see. Bent Rail Productions. I don't know if I have him as a subscriber. Can I click on? No, I can't click on that. I have to be on YouTube to do that. Well, I'm going to get off, guys. I got to get back in before they send out the posse after me.
All right, Jack. Take care. Have a great weekend, brother.
Yeah, you too. Nice to see you. See you, Peter, Rodney, and everybody in the chat.
All right, brother. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh man! Every now and then something like that comes along, and it's good to just take it and run. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
You got Dan on the sunrise stream was saying how he looks better than I do in my T-shirt because I sent him a T-shirt, and he was telling me he's been wearing it. He said he looks better than I do in it. I don't think so, but you know, hey,
yeah.
To each their own, right, Dan? So anyway, I wonder how Jim Boyd's doing out there at CES.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting thing to go to. There'd be a lot of stuff there to.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to gone to that. No doubt.
Yeah.
I did see a picture of a new drone that only has 2 blades, 2
Yeah,
propellers.
yeah, looks so interesting.
Yeah, it almost kind of looks like a Mavic. Almost.
Yeah, so because it folds up, doesn't it? So it's only
Yeah,
under,
I think it does.
2 arms instead of 4. Yeah.
So, Brian McKay, good morning. Welcome to the chat. Now let's see here. All right. So are you getting any of the smoke from the fires, Peter?
We do some days. Depends which way the wind's blowing, of course.
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah, we've had quite a few days recently where we've had a bit of smoke haze. Yeah. Last couple of days has been okay because the winds have been blowing the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember some years ago in I want to say in 1998, the company I worked for when I was out in California sent me to Austin, Texas for training on an ion implanter. And it was during the time when there was a great big fire down in Mexico. I mean, this had to have been like 200 or 300 miles away. And the plane got into Austin, and you could see the haze from that fire.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's even reports on the news that the smoke from the fires here has been reaching South America.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. It's been over New Zealand too quite a bit. New Zealand been copying it too.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet he is having fun, Tomas. And he's going to probably have a lot of editing. He sent me some pictures out of his hotel room. Of course, that's all I get. You know, he doesn't send me any of the good stuff. just pictures out of his hotel room. Oh, so is that what it is?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, V-copter. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to have to look that one up. 50-minute flight time. There's Rick Halver.
There he is.
Good morning, Rick. I was wondering where you was at. Look what I got, brother. That is so nice of him.
Yeah, that should be interesting flying that thing around.
Yeah.
Because they fly differently to the normal sort of drone or the GPS sort of drones.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the hardest part is getting used to flying without the GPS stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do it. Pretty soon my turn to the dark side will be complete.
Looks like they're built to run into stuff anyway, so they should be pretty hard to damage flying inside the house.
With my luck, I'll destroy everything but the drone. Actually, I'm thinking about going to the fellowship hall at the church.
Yeah, could be a good idea.
There's not much there to break. Brant Ariels, good morning, Gary. No doubt, Mitch, cover the TV screens.
That's a good idea.
Yep. So, anyway, let's see. I'll be right back, Peter. Entertain folks. Sing or tell jokes or something.
Okay. Like that's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. All right, I'm back. Oh, there's Mel.
Oh,
Mel, there's been a change.
There's been a change?
Yeah, something different about your little setup there.
No.
Be the shelves.
It's been this way a couple weeks now.
yeah, it's been that way for a while.
Yeah. Where you been? You've not been watching my live streams, Rodney.
I've been paying attention.
Right?
Well, yeah. I watch them when I can, Mel. But
That's all we can all do,
yeah.
Rod. That's all we can all do is watch when we can.
So
This new job is second week now. I made it through the second week. Yay, go me.
all right. What are you
But,
doing?
Moving. I'm working for a waste management company, and I'm driving the roll-off truck. So I haul those big open-top dumpsters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a garbage man.
What's that?
You're a garbage man.
Yeah, I'm a trash man. Yeah.
Yeah, the trash man.
I drive a one stack Mac, no shack on the back.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and say that one.
Well, you know, it's a joke amongst truck drivers that, yeah, man, I'm going to get me a new one stack Mac with a shack on the back, meaning it's a one stack Mac truck with a shack being a little tiny sleeper, right?
Right.
Well, this one's a one stack Mac, no shack on the back. But yeah, so I've been doing that, and it's working out real well. It's not too hard on my knee and stuff, so
Good.
I'm
Good.
able to actually physically do the job, which makes me happy. And yesterday they had no runs for me to do, no containers to go empty or, you know, swap out or anything. So the yard that I work out of down here is like a satellite yard, I guess you could say.
Uh-huh.
And there's no management here. There's no office people. There's no, you know, people looking down your back all the time or nothing. It's pretty relaxed. And the lead driver is kind of like the supervisor. And he told me Thursday evening, he says, well, they don't have anything for you to do up north, and we don't have nothing down here. He says, but come on in and rearrange the yard and, you know, just think around. I'm okay. So I rearranged all the containers out in the yard and got them all in order as per their size, 20, 30, and 40 yard. And then I decided I was going to start doing some cleanup in the shop. And
I bet that was a big chore.
It would take a week to get it all done.
Oh, man. Well, hey, job security.
But the yard is, you know, dirt and gravel. And so when it's rainy or wet, they drive the trucks in the shop to do oil changes or whatever and track, you know, mud and dirt in. And they don't clean it up. So I got some pictures I'll share with you. The floor, let's see, how do I do this? I got to open that folder first. I got to find it. Where did I do with it? Here it is. Okay.
While you're doing that, Matt North, welcome to the chat. Good to hear from you.
I'll move that over there so that I can still see my screen and go like this and go share screens. I'll get this worked out. Share screens.
this one here. Okay, so now I got the share ready.
All right, now I'm gonna put it up.
So this is 5 photos I took with my phone. Okay.
Okay.
This first one, I'm gonna open this with photos so it goes full screen. Oh, it didn't open on the right screen. Here we go. Okay, so here's what it looked like, right? This is the first bay by the office.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, now I was scraping. Morning, Steve. Morning, Rick. I was scraping the because this dirt is dried and cured now. It may as well be concrete. Okay, so I start getting it coming my way, and in this picture in the top right corner, you can see the scraper blade that I went and bought, because all they had there was a flat shovel that had all but about 1.5 feet of the handle cut off. So it's a flat shovel with about 1.5 feet long handle. So you're bent over trying to do this scraping. It wasn't working. So I went and bought me a brand new shovel. You see it sitting there by those jack stands, and then that scraper plate. Now that scraper is something that normally a landscaper would use to scrape weeds and things out of cracks in concrete and so forth, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm using it to scrape up this dried mud dirt. And as the day progressed, or the work progressed, I guess, you can see all the scraping that I've been doing, and you can start seeing some of it starting to pile up some there and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when I got all done, I used the shovel and I shoveled it all into a pile in the middle of the floor. All right. So here's the pile.
Oh,
Now, that's just from one bay. That's a 2-bay shop. All right. Now,
Wow. That's a lot.
well, that doesn't really show you the real picture. I stuck a shovel in the pile so that we could get an actual perspective of the size of the pile.
Mm. Goodness.
That's like 2 wheelbarrow loads, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, so, and up in the top right corner, you see right up there, you see something laying there.
Yeah.
Well, that is just to the right of there are a bunch of bins that would store like nuts and bolts and washers and things.
Right. Yeah.
That's the entire storage of those bins in a pile on the floor. That's
Wow.
their nut and bolt supply. A pile on the floor.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
So, yeah. So on days that there's nothing to do as far as customer work, yeah, I got plenty to do to burn time
no
on the
doubt.
time clock.
No doubt at all.
You know, it's insane. It's like, holy hell, really, guys? Come on. You know? But anyway.
Yeah. Hey, let me take a moment. Hey, Steve Carpenter. Good morning. Welcome to the chat. He finally got up in time to see one. Hey, Steve, check your email, brother.
You're not really picking on Steve so early in the morning, are you? I mean, he may not have even had his coffee yet. It's only, 6 a.m. out there on the West Coast right now?
I understand that, but you know, Rick Halber is here, and was
Well,
on the sunrise live stream.
Yep.
Steve has no excuse. Sorry, that's just the way it is.
well, okay. So Steve's got to step up then. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait a minute. This is his 4th time. He's correcting me.
Morning, Brant. Morning, Steve. Chris,
Morning,
hope rough, but we made it. What do you mean rough? You still got weather going on down there? All the weather went by just to the west of us, by the way. It hit in Sallisaw, Oklahoma, and up north in Bentonville, where the main office is and all that. They had quite a few tornado warnings last night.
Tornado season starting kind of early back there.
Well, it's hard to say because it's there's not really a time. You know, the tornado season, I guess, if you will, is based on the Canadians. When they shove that cold air down to our warm air and those two things come together, that's when you have the problems. So,
Well, yeah, but growing up in Oklahoma, usually when spring came, when it started to transition from winter to spring, is when the thunderstorms would hit, and those would go on all summer long. You know,
cold air hitting warm air. Yep.
And so then that's what we call the stormy season. We call it stormy season, not necessarily tornado season, but most of the time, if there was a storm, there was probably a tornado was going to be associated with it.
Quite often. Yep.
And I admit things have changed over the years. So, I mean,
it changes to different times of the year, it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember as a kid growing up in Michigan, my parents moved to California when I was 10 years old. So the first 10 years I spent in Traverse City area, upper northern part of lower Michigan. And I remember having snow as a kid from Thanksgiving clear through till spring, you know, and now they're lucky to have snow for Christmas. It's crazy.
It is crazy. You know, it's that global warming stuff.
Is that what it is?
That's what they tell me.
Well, now you're starting to sound like, what's that other dipshit's name? I mean, the ex-vice president's name that used to.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Looky there.
Good morning, Mel. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Rodney Bell. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Good, thank you.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you.
And I just started running my mouth without saying good morning. Good morning, Rodney. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Steve.
Mel,
Good morning, Mel.
that from you, buddy.
See, that's what happens when you get old. You forget your manners.
And good morning to everybody in chat.
Oh, now you're really showing me up, Steve. Thanks.
Or afternoon.
Hey, Rodney, look what I got.
What is that?
I probably shouldn't have showed that. That's got the address on it. That's all right. I believe it's a drone.
Well, okay. You gonna open it?
On my live show tomorrow night.
Oh.
So you got to be there to see what it is.
I got you. Okay.
Little teaser.
I see.
It's from Kelly Shores. Back in December, a couple of weeks before Christmas, on Kelly's first Friday thing that he does every month. He gave away some stuff and did some trivia, and I happened to be lucky enough to be the first guy with a trivia answer, so I ended up with a drone. I think
cool.
that's what it is.
Well, I think Jack probably hit it on the head. You probably broke it now by shaking it.
Oh, not even. Okay, so let me shake it one more time. Right? Now we're going to give it a good shake. The way Kelly test flies things, it's probably already broken, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that is a good point too. Did you see what I got?
Yeah, I saw that a little bit ago. You were showing that, weren't you?
Yeah. Now that Rick Halver's in the house.
Hey,
it's a baby drone.
Rodney's gone to the dark side.
Oh, apparently so has Mel.
Mel's already been there.
I've been on the dark side long before drones came out, guys. But Rodney, I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, the really good one is white, okay? But inside that are two antennas, okay? And if you cut a little hole in the side of the body on each side, you can pull those antennas up through the holes and you'll get much, much better reception. Just so you know.
I don't know. I may not be able to fly it. I can't even open it. Oh, there it is.
One antenna is for the quad and the other's for the video. It's the VTX, the video transmission. So, but I'll tell you what, this thing's a blast to fly.
Okay, I'm not seeing it.
Is that,
Yeah, get the battery out.
Steve, did you send that to him or
What?
did you send that Tiny Hawk to him? That's a Tiny Hawk, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Rick Halber sent it to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
I'm afraid to break it.
You can't.
Those things are indestructible, I hear.
Almost indestructible. Rodney, check this out. I was flying mine one day and I had my brother, I was over by the house and I had my brother out there with me and my dad too. So my dad's flying his Phantom 3 and he's trying to film my drone flying with the Tiny Hawk. So I was flying right in front of his Phantom 3.
Uh-huh.
Well, I actually crashed into his Phantom 3 once.
Oh,
Mid-air collision, Tiny Hawk versus Phantom 3. And didn't do a thing to the Phantom 3, didn't even like phase it. And the Tiny Hawk ended up belly up on the ground. But another time, that same day, there's a power pole there, a big steel power pole. And, you know, it's only about 8 inches wide, 15 feet in the air, right? I hit it not only once, but twice. I hit the power pole straight on. That Tiny Hawk bounced straight backwards. And because I was still trying to fly forward, it crashed into it again. And it's on video. If you can find it on my channel, it's kind of comical, actually. They're pretty indestructible.
That's what I hear. I've seen a lot of videos of people flying them. So, hey, I want to acknowledge a few people. Citizen Z, welcome to the chat. Saigon 98, welcome. Steve Carpenter, go away. Did I just say that?
No problem, he says.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, come back.
Be careful what you ask for.
Sensitive fellow.
The new Tiny Hawk has an adjustable camera and takes a 2S battery. I'm going to tell you what. I learned something about FPV, Rodney. You know that stuff that Brent gave us, right?
Right.
Well, I won't be flying 4S again until I get a little bit better at the 1S. I'm going to tell you what, them 4S drones, them 4-cell battery drones, oh my God.
Yeah.
Quick, and they get away from you. They get away from you.
Real quick.
Real quick.
I remember you were doing I think it was a live stream. You were doing it, and it kept turning over.
Yeah.
And what it caused that? Was a propeller upside down or something?
Nope. The cause for that was the onboard gyro was inverted electronically.
Oh.
I had to reset it. So when the drone was sitting upright, the onboard electronic gyro thought the drone was upside down. So it was trying to right itself as soon as I put power to it. Once I recalibrated that solved the problem. And then it would sit there and idle. And yeah.
Cool. Well, good. Glad you figured it out, but sorry you broke it.
Rick's saying that one uses 1 and 2 cell batteries, Rodney.
The one I have.
Mm-hmm. You just put it in the chat there.
Okay.
Well, this one will too if I wired 2 batteries together in parallel.
Can't you just get a 2 cell battery?
Yeah, but that'd cost money. I can put 2 batteries together for nothing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So
So,
if you put them in parallel, that'll increase your flight time too.
well, that's the whole purpose of doing 2 cell.
That's true.
And it'll make it a little more punchy, you know, when you crack the throttle, it'll punch a little harder. It'll punch out.
Back to this guy, the ET-115 is 3 cell. Wow.
You know, I didn't notice, but now that I think about it, I didn't see any paperwork in here.
There isn't, I don't think. I don't remember getting any with mine.
I got some parts. Another battery. It looks thicker than the other one. It is thicker. Would that be a 2S battery?
It'll say on, yeah, that's a 2 cell. Sure enough. Looks like it.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I can see the right there. You can see the 2 cells.
Well, maybe, yeah, yep. Sure enough, it's a 2 cell.
Yeah, good night, Matt. Looks like he's leaving us. These young guys can't handle the late nights like us.
All right, Matt, you have a good one. Hopefully I'll see you on the Saturday morning coffee with Rodney again. One of these days. I know now that you've got your own show and you've, gotten popular, you can't hang with the little guys anymore. So
It was fun last night with Jim not being there. Adrian had a pretty mellow night, except for Matt picking up. Matt was picking up for what Jim wasn't doing there.
yeah, I watched it this morning when I got up, almost like I do most of the time, and I had to crack up. The Adrian, that guy's a character. Love him to death. Hey, Matt, you have a good one, brother. Well, maybe next Saturday you'll be able to come in.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching and with Peter being on there and stuff. And I was putting in the chat to him and telling him, yeah, Jim's out walking the strip. In fact, he'll be hopping on a jet in probably about a little over 4 hours, headed back to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Florida.
Oh, I was getting some texts from him the other day. I don't know if you got any from him, but he was complaining so much about his flight.
Yeah.
I mean, 12 hours just to
For
go to
what?
Las Vegas.
From where? What?
From Florida to Vegas.
From
Who?
Florida to breakfast.
Boyd.
Jim Boyd.
Oh, what did you go to CES?
Went
Yeah.
to Atlanta.
Well, that's what he gets for booking the cheap seats. I'm sure he could have got a direct flight. I mean, Tampa to Vegas, to me, doesn't seem out of the question for a direct flight. Most every airline flies at least one flight, direct to Vegas.
Yeah.
I'm
we,
sure
we
those.
can get, we can
It had the one layover, but it was delayed, and then it had to change planes, and then it got to the gate, and then it was going to Phoenix or somewhere, and then he had to go clear to another port of the airport in order to get to the right gate.
Oh my God. You know, sometimes if it wasn't for bad luck, that guy wouldn't have any luck. You know what I mean? I feel sorry for him sometimes. It's just
Yeah.
like, really, Jim, did you really have all those troubles? I mean, God, it's like sometimes the luck wagon is just going the opposite direction of him.
It definitely was. Trust me.
Wow. The luck plane in this case.
Hey, Nunya, you have a good one, brother. He's leaving us. You have a great weekend, my friend.
Nunya, that's a pretty cool name.
It is a cool name.
400 AGL's cooler, but that's a cool name.
Now, Rodney Bell's a pretty cool name too.
Well, that's a matter of opinion.
Yeah, I got your opinion.
But you can tell that it's Saturday morning and I'm in a happy mood, right? Even though it's storming and raining, I can't go flying. I'm still happy. It's like,
Yeah, well, that makes me wonder what's in that coffee cup because I don't think it's coffee.
maybe a little Kahlua with the coffee. I don't know.
Well, there you go. Speaking of coffee,
If I start singing, you'll know.
Speaking of coffee,
Morning,
I'm
Nacho.
going to go get some coffee, so I'll be right back. Hey, Mel, do me a favor and entertain these two characters.
Show me the way to go home. And you know what, Steve? I actually do pretty well, but you wouldn't have to plug your ears, really honest.
Well, I don't know about that. That's a matter of opinion, as they say, Mel. No. See, having a sister who sings opera, there's a big difference between most people singing and
Well,
somebody who sings professionally.
you think? I forget that you're like one of those upper echelon citizens. You know, you come slumming when you come visiting us.
I'm not upper echelon. I'm so far from it, it's pathetic. Just my sister got all the correct vocal cords. And what's ironic, when my sister was taking coaching lessons, the music coach there asked me to try singing one day when we were in there. I outheld the note than my sister did, but there was only one problem. It was completely flat.
Well, that's okay. There's a place for flat singers. I mean, barbershop quartets, you know, you know, I mean, when you do it in harmony with 2 or 3 other guys,
Yeah.
you know, then it kind of fits in. Or bluegrass. You could sing, a lot of bluegrass is done flat, actually. The vocal part, yeah, absolutely. That's why some of the bluegrass stuff's kind of sounds like monotone almost, is because a lot of those singers, they actually sing just a little bit on the flat side, and when you pair the music and everything with it, it actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is Chris leaving?
Yep.
Yeah, Chris, have a good day, buddy. Be careful out there, man.
Take care, Chris. Yeah. It's headed to Tennessee. I heard it was headed towards Tennessee, too. The weather report I got this morning when I got up, that's what got me up. My alarm, my weather app came up and it said it was going towards Tennessee.
Let's see here. Let's take a look at all that. Let's pull up my super duper trusty radar app. Yeah, that line is actually over my house right now.
That's not good.
It'll be all right. It's just a mobile home.
That's really not good.
I've got a question for both Mel and Steve while you're there. I'm thinking of buying a new computer very shortly, and I'm just wondering if what sort of specs I should look at just like a medium level one.
Oh, Peter, do you have to buy it or can you build it? Because you can build twice the machine or 3 times the machine for what the same money you can buy for.
No, I'll get it built. I've got no experience with building them, so I'll
Oh,
get
you don't need experience building a computer. It's much easier than most people think.
Mm.
Sonari has never done one. The most she's done maybe is change a video card or something.
right.
We were able to get her some parts rounded up, and she bought the rest of what she needed, and she built her own PC, the one that we got her for Christmas.
Okay.
She built it. I mean, it's really super easy to do. Seriously, the power supply bolts into the case, and then you have certain cables on the power supply that plug into certain places on the motherboard, and the motherboard, the plugs will only go in that location, and they only go one way. You can't mess it up.
Yeah.
And then once you mount the motherboard, you mount the power supply and power it up, load Windows on it. And then if you want to add a video card, once you get Windows loaded, then you can add the video card into the system. And I mean, it's really easy.
Yeah.
But
that's okay if you're building a desktop. If you're building a laptop, no, buy the laptop.
well, you don't build laptops.
Oh yes, you do. I've built several of them.
Okay.
Well, how do you get a laptop case? I've never ever seen a laptop case.
Can find them. There used to be a
sale.
company called the PC Club, and they used to sell them.
Oh, well,
The PC Shopper magazine, the big thick magazine. Remember that big magazine? You could buy them from there too.
oh well, I'm betting that he's talking desktop, right, Peter?
Yeah, desktop, definitely desktop. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what. Here's, if you want to make some notes, okay?
Yep.
I've got in my PC right now, I've got a Tomahawk. It's an MSI Tomahawk motherboard. It's a B450, I think.
Right.
And I put a Ryzen 7, AMD Ryzen 7 chip on it.
Whoa.
So
Your conscience.
so what you're looking for is something like anything 3.6 or 3.7 gigahertz rather, or more.
Right.
And what that is the speed of the chip, so it'll operate faster.
Yep.
And then you want at least 16 gig of RAM.
Yep.
And you want a video card. If you're going to do editing and stuff, you want to get a video card with at least 4 or 8 gig of RAM on it.
Mm. Yeah, I won't be doing any video editing because I do all mine on the iPad at the moment. That works fine for me. Yeah.
Well, what do you want to do with the PC? First of all, that's the main question.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Just a basic one, just for or probably the main thing I do at the moment is just like this live streaming sort of stuff. So, because the one I've got at the moment, I bought in 2012. It's got just an i5 processor with 8 gig of RAM. Hasn't even got a video card. It's just running off the
onboard video, yeah.
Chip graphics, and that works fine for me at the moment. Just with because I'm running Windows 7, and that's Microsoft are going to stop supporting that very soon. And so
Microsoft has already stopped supporting Windows 7. They don't support that anymore as of January 1.
Yes, I thought it might be a good time to buy a new one and upgrade to Windows 10.
Sure. You could actually. Do you know what the chipset is? What the gigahertz speed is on it and stuff? Is it like a 3.2 or a 3.5 or 3.7 gigahertz?
I can find out for you here, I think. Where are we?
Yeah, right click on your start button, go to system, and go to
System properties.
Yeah, system properties.
It's an Intel i5 357K CPU, 3.40.
3.4. Okay.
3.4 to 3.8 gigahertz. Yeah.
And how much RAM? 3.4 to 3.8, so you can overclock it.
Yeah,
How much RAM you got?
8 gigabytes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heck, you could just upgrade the memory, and if that's all you're going to be using it for is online stuff, that processor still run everything.
That's plenty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your RAM chips, they look like this. I don't know if you've ever had one out of a computer or not, but this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got 8 gig of RAM. So you've got 2 of these in there that are 4 gig each, most likely, because they run dual channel. You have to have 2 of them.
Yep.
So every computer gets built with 2. Go buy yourself at your local electronics store 2 8 gig chips. That's what this one is an 8 gig. That'll give you 16 gig of RAM.
All right.
And then buy yourself a decent video card with 2 or 4 gig of RAM on it. That way your video no longer uses your system RAM.
Yeah.
It'll have its own. So your computer will have a full 16 gig of RAM available to it. Your video will have 2 or 4 or 8 gig, whatever video card you buy. And take your 2 chips out, put the 2 new chips in, reboot your system, then shut it down, put your video card in the slot, plug in the cable in the back, power it up, and probably it'll plug and play. You won't even have to install driver or anything. It'll automatically update as long as you're connected to the internet. And once you get done with all that, go to Microsoft and download the installer for Windows 10. Okay.
I would install Windows 10 first on that machine and then go install that other stuff, because the drivers may not be recognized by 7 on the new video cards.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So,
and one of the things you can do, I'll put a link in there, Peter, is a check. There's a company called Crucial.com. They sell nothing but memory, and they can actually scan your computer and they'll tell you exactly what chip you have in there and what you need to order. And then you can just go buy it yourself.
Okay. All right.
Hey guys, let me interrupt for a minute. I want to say good morning and welcome to Troy Kirchner and Nacho Rolling. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the chat. Okay, carry on.
yeah, it's probably for that year model, that time frame of a machine, Brian, the 3000 megahertz RAM would probably, is it 3000 megahertz? I can't remember. Yeah, like 3000 megahertz would probably work just fine on that motherboard.
Well, that's what I'm saying is this Crucial app. This is a thing. It'll search your computer. You have to allow it to do it, but it will go on there and it'll tell you exactly what's in there, the memory that's in there, and what you can upgrade and what that motherboard will take up to. So I've bought from them in the past a lot. They make a great product. I can recommend them, but you being in Australia, I don't know what the cost would be to get it there.
Yeah.
But at least you'll know what memory specifically you need and the speed of the RAM will support.
Right.
And that'll make it match your motherboard. But you can upgrade. You can definitely upgrade the system you have and not spend near as much money as you would buying a whole new system.
I was just worried whether the components being so old would be compatible with Windows 10, or if I would run into any possible problems.
It won't run as well as if it was all updated stuff, that's in this time era of Windows 10, but it'll run Windows 10 just fine. Yeah.
I put the link in the chat there, Peter. I put it in private and public.
Okay. And that's a good source to test your system and see what you have and what you can get, because Crucial will show you the best RAM you can get for that motherboard, et cetera, et cetera. Before you start any of that process, if you want to upgrade it, go to Microsoft and download the installer for Windows 10 onto a flash drive. Okay.
That's a really important step. Do that before you do anything else. Because when you get all the other stuff done, you're going to do something that would scare most people half to death, and that's format your hard drive. Because you back up all your images, save them on flash drives or whatever, save all the stuff you want to save, and then format your hard drive.
Yep.
And then when you get your new RAM in and you boot your computer up for the first time, it'll just be blank. So what you'll have to do is put that Windows 10 installer into your USB port and then boot the computer up with that in the computer so that it can do its thing and load Windows 10 for you. But it's kind of scary. First, right, Steve? First time you format your hard drive, you're like, do I really want to do this?
Yeah.
And if you
back up.
if you really want to speed your computer up considerably, the thing to do would be just unplug your hard drive. Okay. You can leave it in the machine, just unplug it, buy yourself a solid state hard drive, put that in your computer and plug it in and load your Windows onto your solid state hard drive.
Well, I've got a solid state drive in there at the moment.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well,
it's only 128 gig, but
that's good enough to hold your Windows system.
oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But in the event, the reason I said get us another hard drive, in the event that loading Windows or something, you have a problem and it doesn't function, you can take that hard drive out, plug in your old one, and you can still boot Windows 7. You see what I mean? Because the computer will boot whatever it sees. And if it sees Windows 10 first, it'll load Windows 10. You can actually set it up to where it'll load either one. You can make a computer load multiple operating systems.
Yeah.
Just by setting the boot order on the drives. But there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. I mean, but if it was me, the first thing I'd do, and I was going to use my same hard drive and everything, the very first thing I'd do was get Windows 10 installer on a SD card.
Okay, all right. Just to answer Jack Sparky Fran's question, yeah, I do have an external hard drive. I've got I think it's about 1.5 terabyte one in there at the moment.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's plenty.
Yeah.
And I did an M.2. I did an M.2 on her motherboard, Steve. I've never used an M.2 drive before.
Oh, they're great.
Oh man, I bought I think it's a 500 gigabyte. It might have been a 1 terabyte. I don't remember, but really kind of weird mounting that chip directly to the motherboard and not putting an actual hard drive in the computer. Yeah. You know what I mean? What we call the C drive, that becomes the C drive. And that's why I said, Peter, you can build one. You can buy one. I mean, yeah. You don't have to go to all that work. If you're not comfortable doing all that work, just buy one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because the M2 drives or the NVMe drives nowadays are so fast. They make an SSD drive just almost like the old regular hard drives. Because
they're not that much different, Steve, but they are different.
Yeah, they are. On this one here, compared to my other one, it was almost twice as fast clocking speed.
Really?
Yeah. It screams.
Wow.
Yeah, the processor I was thinking of was the Ryzen 5. I think it is 3600, which has had pretty good reviews from what I've seen.
That's all the Ryzen chips have good reviews, but if you're gonna get new, then go with the Ryzen 7, which is the newer generation, 3600. Even if you went with a Ryzen 7 2700, it would still be better than the Ryzen 5.
Yeah. So
as long as you're doing it, you may as well build you one or buy you one that's going to last you way longer, you know. And you can mine's got a Ryzen 7 in it.
Yeah. Right
now, you can buy the Ryzen 7. Now, I don't know about where you are, but here in the States, I can buy the Ryzen 7 2700X for $150 on Amazon right now. Oh. That's cheap. You know,
I think the Ryzen 5 3600 is around about $300 Australian, which would probably be probably a bit under $200 US, I would think.
That's about right. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
about $200 here.
And I think
but-
the 3700, I think the Ryzen 7 3700, I think it is, or
Yeah, they got a 36, I think, and a 37. Yeah.
they're about, I think, just a bit over 500, I think, here for, which maybe around the
How much?
about 500 Australian dollars, which would probably around the 300 US dollars, roughly, probably.
Yeah, I think that one around here is like 329 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, so it sounds
Yeah.
like the prices are fairly good.
Yeah. But don't go with a 5, go with a 7.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you may as well just get the newest, latest, greatest that you can get right now, because like the Ryzen 5 is already 2 years old. Ryzen 7, the Ryzen 7 chip that I put in my computer a year ago was almost a year old when I put it in.
Yeah.
You know, because they had a better Ryzen chip when I bought mine. But and mine's working great. I mean, I loaded Windows 10 on it. I'm currently running only 16 gig of RAM because I gave some to Sonari for her machine out of mine. But when I built it, I put 32 gig of RAM in it, an 8 gig video card, and the Ryzen 7 2700X chip.
Right.
Power on to Windows 10, open, ready to go, 18 seconds.
That's cool.
That's screaming fast.
It is. Hey, I want to welcome Eagle VP and Legwork to the chat. Legwork and Eagle VPs. There's some of our British friends from across the pond.
Yeah, morning, Leg. Afternoon to you, I believe. Do you agree, Steve?
Yes, I do.
Ryzen 7 over the Ryzen 5, no matter what?
Yeah, Ryzen has really come up, and they're really good, especially as far as gaming, because of the overclocking capabilities. I've old school. I've been an Intel fan for decades, and they both put out quality chips for the bang for the buck. With the AMD, and you go to that versus the Intel, you're going to get a bigger bang for your buck by buying AMD than you will out of Intel.
Yep. And actually, the AMD Ryzen stuff right now, for about the last year almost, have actually been outperforming and outselling Intel to the point to where most people aren't even using Intel to build machines anymore.
Yeah.
Even the hobby users, you know, just the regular people that want to build a new computer and they know how to build one. Yeah. They're going with AMD instead of Intel. Intel's kind of sucking hind tit right now. So
there's going to be some new stuff right around the horizon here.
Oh yeah, but you can bet that AMD is going to pop it too. So
I know.
Yeah, just like the drone thing, right? Autel come out with an 8K with 360 obstacle avoidance. DJI is going to step up. They are.
I got a question that Mel may be able to answer, or somebody in the chat, or anybody may be able to answer it. This is the controller I got from Brent.
Yep.
And this is the throttle stick.
Yep.
Is it supposed to be like that?
Yep.
Yep. So this is normal?
That's absolutely normal. Here, I'll show you.
Okay.
There's mine, right?
Right.
Okay.
I got it. Okay. I just wanted to check, because
the reason is because all the way down is zero throttle idle on your motors. Okay. And this gives you, because pitch and roll and yaw are an axis movement where you can go one way or the other. Throttle, you don't go one way or the other. You go one way and back.
Right.
There is no one way or the other. So yeah, so that's absolutely correct. On aircraft, fixed wing, anything, they all that are using mode 2, and if not, if it's mode 1, then the throttle's on the other side, and you can change your controller to mode 1 just by taking the spring off of that. You can put it on the other one, and it does, same.
Yeah, I just thought maybe that, because I'm used to this guy, and the throttle stick always goes back to center.
Well, that's because of the way they fly.
Yeah.
That's an RC controller versus your Phantom controller.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, good. I got a question answered. Now I'm not so worried about it. I'll just have to remember to keep it down when I go to start.
In fact, when you turn everything on the screen, it'll tell you a switch error, and it'll tell you what switch. Like if you go to start everything and your arm switch is on, it'll tell you arm switch error or throttle error or whatever. It'll tell you exactly.
Which one is the arm switch?
It'll be this first one on the top left corner.
This one here?
Yep. So push down is disarm and lift up is arm. So whenever you get in a panic and you think you're going to do something bad, but the drone just push that switch down, it shuts the motors off and the drone drops out of the sky.
Arm stabilization on.
Wait. Yeah.
Disabled.
Have you used Beta Flight yet?
Motor disabled.
Not yet. It said motor disabled.
Motor on.
Motor on. Okay.
Yep.
Motor disabled.
Got it.
That's a fancy controller. All mine does is tell me to screw off. It doesn't tell me all that stuff.
Everybody tells
You don't need a controller for that, Mel.
I know I screw off pretty well on my own, right? Geez, Steve.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I am watching all the stuff coming out of CES. There's a lot of good stuff coming out of there. That Evo, and now with the Phantom 4 Pro V2 back out on the market, I'm perplexed.
Why?
What I thought was interesting, and we talked about it, mentioned it earlier, the two arm, the V.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That looked interesting.
Yeah.
I've been communicating with them, trying to get them to send me one for review, and so far I've not gotten a reply back.
Aldrin a flight path.
Yeah, Aldrin Astachio.
And the only thing I look at that is it's in essence the same thing as the Army plane.
Yep.
They haven't quite perfected all that transmission and gearing on a drone yet, which means there's more chances of things to go wrong. That's what
Why do you think they haven't perfected it?
What other tilt rotor assembly drone is there out there?
Oh, because there's no other doesn't mean it's not perfected. Doesn't mean that they haven't whipped it.
Well, I guess I should say I want to see it fly for a while.
Which is why I'm trying to get one. How cool would that be? But
And that would be pretty awesome.
yeah. But my thing is like, it doesn't have an airfoil. So once you tilt the rotors forward, they must only tilt a certain amount because they got to propel it forward and up because there's no airfoil to make it fly. So,
Right.
yeah, I really want to play with one of them things.
Oh, it looks cool as can be. I mean,
When I first saw a picture of it, I thought it looked like a Mavic. But then I got to looking at it closer, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's only got two propeller arms.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And Evo 8K is, probably the most ridiculous thing that anybody could have. The only reason that you'd use 8K is to be able to zoom in without losing resolution, right? In post. Because our eyes can't see 8K. Very few people.
have 8K sets.
Nobody's got anything that they can view 8K on unless they're very, very wealthy because, anyway. But so it's ridiculous except for the ability to zoom it in and
Purposes.
and not lose resolution.
You can crop in and be able to bring everything in. You can
Right.
for post-production. It's great. But the one thing, though, is unbelievable is the 48 megapixel sensor for still photos.
That's what I really like. Yeah.
But for me,
And the flight time. It's got great flight time.
oh, yeah.
Hello,
I-
Trevor.
What was it? 50 minutes. Hey, Trevor.
40.
Well, it's getting realistically, 35 to 40. But yeah.
40 on the Evo, 50 on that Falcon.
Yeah, I was thinking of the Falcon. So
Yeah.
is 30 to 40.
They're saying 40. And that's not hovering, obviously. That's moving, like at about 10 miles an hour, because
Right.
if you're moving, you're going to get better flight time than just having to hover. But the one thing I'm interested in is I want to find out more on the specs, is the 1-inch sensor model, which is 20 megapixel for the Pro model, the 2 Pro. And that's to find out the specs on that sensor.
Yeah, I watched a video this morning that was comparing the Evo 2 with the original Evo and also a Mavic 2 Pro as far as hovering flight times go, and I think they got just about 31 minutes out of the Evo 2 with about 8% battery or so left, which was I think was about 10 minutes more than the original one.
Yeah, more than the original. Yeah.
Because I want to use it for construction mapping, for laying over for overviews for a couple of companies that I know that want me to get into it. And now with the Phantom 4 Pro coming in and having a global shutter on their camera, 20 megapixel, the stitching is a lot better than it is on a lot of other drones. And I don't know. That's why I want to find out more on what that sensor actually is and the capability of it.
But it's not a mechanical shutter though, is it, Steve, on the Evo?
I don't think it is.
I don't think so. I still think the Phantom 4 Pro would be the better bet for that.
And you're allowed, and the thing about the Pro is you're paying for the adjustable aperture too,
Right.
because the 8K model is not. It's just a 1/2-inch CMOS sensor on it, and
Right.
there's no adjustable aperture. It's just like a Maverick regular,
Yep. Good
But yeah,
morning, Organized Confusion.
What's that?
I was just saying good morning in chat there.
Oh, okay.
Good morning, Organized
And
Confusion.
Legwork, he's holding out for the Mavic 12 because it's going to be nuclear powered.
That's what I'm saving my money for.
Yeah. Well, wait a second. The X was supposed to be nuclear powered, so the 12 would have to be more. It'd have to be more than nuclear powered.
Maybe it'll have warp drive.
Hydrogen?
It'll be warp drive.
It'll be warp drive.
Yeah.
Warp
It'll use
times two.
it'll have a antimatter reactor and it'll have warp drive. Yep. There you go.
And we'll be able to fly it from here to the moon and back in about 2 seconds.
Hey,
And get some awesome video.
there you go.
I seen a motorcycle like that one time. This great big trike that was almost the size of my pickup truck. And it had this massive V8 in it with a big radiator out front and all that, water cooled. And I was talking to the guy about it and I was admiring it. It was so long that his handlebar mount, he had chrome chain that ran out to the actual forks on the motorcycle. So it was chain pull to steer it.
Oh my gosh.
The chain was all welded solid, so it was a solid rod, but it
Right.
still looked like chain and it was all chromed in and it looked really sharp. And I just commented, I said, man, I'll bet that thing's fast, isn't it? And he goes, yeah. He says, everybody always asks me how fast it'll go. I say, it's kind of a dumb question, right? He goes, yeah, I usually tell them 0 to San Diego in 15 minutes. And that was, in Oceanside. So that's a 60-mile drive or so, Steve, right?
Yeah.
And Yeah, he'd say 0 to San Diego in 15 minutes.
That's crazy.
What do we got?
And then, of course, the new Evo.
Jim Wallace has just popped into the chat. Good morning there, Mr. Graphics. How you
Morning,
doing,
Jim.
Good morning, Jim.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna get the Evo FLIR, the 640. I'm gonna save up, and that won't be out for 6 months. They're not releasing that camera for another 6 months. So,
well, 2 cameras.
No.
Yeah, one's 300 and some resolution, the other one's 600 and some.
Well, you got 320 and 640. But yeah,
cameras.
The 320 is comparable, still better than, but comparable to that piece of crap DJI made, the Dual.
Than the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Enterprise Dual. 640 infrared resolution is equivalent to the cameras that they hang under the M210.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting to find out what the prices are. And that it's going to come with the other camera on it is going to be the 8K sensor.
The half-inch CMOS sensor with the 8K resolution. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. And it's going to be expensive. It's not going to be cheap.
Oh, no. Any type of FLIR component is not cheap. One of the guys down here in our harbor decided to put a FLIR setup on his, we'll call it a yacht. It's 72 foot.
I would call that a yacht. Yeah.
That's a good sized dinghy.
And oh my God, it was unbelievable looking at the new capabilities of it. Of course, so was the price at what was it, $18,000?
Yeah, it depends on the capabilities of the camera and the lenses, but I haven't talked about this topic in so long. Things, get put away. Radiometric. If you get into that, then you're in the high dollar range.
Oh yeah. I'm talking strictly for navigation. But even though the navigation, when you're there, he pulled it out. We're on board and looking down Dana Point Harbor. So you know how the harbor is, runs down through there. And he flipped that thing on at night when we were there at nighttime. It was like, oh my gosh. I mean, you could see everything just like if you were looking at daytime down through there.
Yep.
And even the clowns out there on their kayaks, doing some night fishing, they're out there paddling because they got those Hobie kayaks. They have what they call the little Dole Hobie fin underneath. So you pedal the kayak and it has a fin underneath that paddles and it keeps you moving forward so you control while you're fishing. And it was like he had a little he got it in the water off the dock and he turned that light on and was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, I'll bet. Morning, Art.
Oh, Art's in the house. Good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning, Art.
Well, guys, I'm going to bounce out of here. Thanks for inviting me in, Rod.
You're welcome, always.
My sausage is in the air cooker. It's all done. So it's time to cook some eggs and have breakfast and go to the bank and take care of some business and start my day.
All right. Well, have a good day. Have a good
You guys may not recognize me tomorrow night.
Uh-oh.
All this will be gone. This will be trimmed, and all this will be gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
You won't be a hippie anymore.
I'm looking like a scraggly old hippie, and the only thing I know is I'll never smoke dope with Willie again. But yeah, just a little shameless plug. Tomorrow night I'll be opening that. That's the one I won from Kelly Shores on his show. So.
All right, awesome. I'll have to try and get in there.
We'll see y'all later. Peter, Steve, Rodney.
Bye, Mel.
Have a
Thanks
good
very
one,
much.
Mel. Thanks for being in the panel. I appreciate it.
Take care, Mel.
All right. Well, let's see. I think we can convince Artco to come on.
I bet you if you twist his arm a little bit, he'll go.
Wouldn't have to twist it very hard, I wouldn't think.
No. Yeah, because I was looking on the DJI site, and that Phantom 4 Pro V2 is available now.
Right.
I hope this is the right address. Art, check your email. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably not going to be on about another 30 minutes or so. But
Well, I might follow Mel out. I think it's approaching 2 a.m. here, so I think it's time for me to head off to bed.
yeah, you need to
Yep, so,
get your old bones to bed.
yep. And
Yeah, heck, from the time I saw you earlier, I've already been to bed, slept, and back up again.
I've been awake the whole time.
Yeah.
You've been awake the whole time since Matt's show?
Oh, well, he usually is, Steve. Unless I think one time he fell asleep before my stream started, and then like in the middle of it, he woke up and joined the panel one time. But it's easy to do, You get up to our age.
Yeah, because Matt's stream starts at about midday on Saturday here, and then Rodney's one starts around about midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tomorrow Sunday, so I can sleep in as long as I like. So,
Well,
yeah.
well, you have a good one,
I will.
Peter, and
Okay.
take care of yourself, man.
Peter, always good to see you, sir. Take care.
Great to see you, Steve. Always great to join you, Rodney, and we shall catch you hopefully next weekend.
All righty, good. Always good to have you here, Peter.
All right, bye, everyone. Bye, everyone in chat. Bye.
Take care.
So, Steve,
Rodney,
how's the weather?
dark.
Dark.
No, actually, it's cloudy. We won't be able to have a sunrise. I was even going to try for a sunrise this morning.
Oh man, too bad.
All clouded.
So
We've got the Santa Ana's blew out for a beautiful sunset though here yesterday. We're blowing, so we had a few small little fires along the way because it's actually been fairly warm here. It's been up in the 70s.
cool. I mean, that's the way I remember California, though. Even in the winter, when I was stationed in San Diego, it was mild.
Yeah.
Except for that one time and I think I've mentioned this before, maybe not to you, but there was one day one day in December 1972. I forget the date. It doesn't matter. It actually snowed in San Diego.
Yeah.
And it was the first time for 30 years. And I think you and I talked about that because you said your mom remembered that or something like that.
Yeah, well, the one that she remembers was in the 40s.
Oh, in the 40s. Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that she really remembered. But
Well,
no, we did have it.
Yeah. And here he is, the one, the only.
All right, I gotta go fly some drones out in northeastern Colorado.
Who you think you're fooling? You may fool Steve, but you didn't fool me, brother. I knew you weren't flying a drone. You're probably playing with that robot.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, yesterday I ordered the controller for it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's very similar to the TD1 controller for the Tello.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. hmm
Cool.
So it'll make it a lot easier to drive around that RoboMaster. Later today, I'm going to upload the video of me cleaning it. That'll be a lot of fun to watch me pick out all that dirt and clean it all up.
Yeah.
Boy, was it caked with mud on
I
the rear wheels, man.
I bet driving it through snow and mud and
Yep.
grunge and grime, and I'm surprised it still works, to tell you the truth.
Well, after I got it cleaned up, I ran it around the apartment to kind of loosen up any more bits of dirt, and it runs fine. Today, I'm going to try to do a video of the follow me function.
Oh, it has a follow me function.
Yeah, it does.
Ah,
hmm
will it shoot you too?
Yeah, yeah, it could. Yeah, if I put those little pellets in, but I haven't done it. You gotta put them in a bowl with water and let them swell up, and then you kind of let them harden. Then you put them in the thing that shoots them. I don't need that. It's just more crap to pick up. But I was thinking, you know what would be funny is if I could chase rabbits with it.
That would be funny.
Yeah, put the follow me mode on it, and once they start taking off, the thing starts falling.
Well, have you tried to clock the speed of it?
No, I haven't. It does go pretty fast. Yeah.
That would be interesting. Put it in follow mode and try to follow a rabbit.
Yeah. I would imagine the rabbit's probably a bit faster than it could.
Oh, I would think so, yeah. But
Hey,
it'd still be fun.
Steve, nice shirt.
Ah, I know. Look somewhat similar.
Yeah.
I can't wear mine.
Why?
It's too small.
Oh.
You
Oh,
didn't order the right size?
Huh?
You didn't order the right size?
Well, they didn't have it listed. I would normally order a 3X.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was listed was a 2X. So I went ahead and got it because I figured, well, my wife might wear it or something.
there you go.
But then when we got there, when Spin Up actually started, I was noticing that there was a number of 3Xs there. So what I should have done was ask Kelly.
Yeah, you should.
Ask Kelly if he could if he can get a 3X. But that's all right.
Yeah, because I thought he said he was going to try to have some made up to have there.
Yeah. So, but anyway, hey, it's no big deal. Well, look, he's in the chat. Good morning, Grumpy.
Hey, Grumps.
Now would be a good time for a political commercial.
There
Grumpy
you go.
President. Yay, Grumpy.
Well, I've got mine somewhere around here.
There we go.
Morning, Lloyd.
I was taking it off my hat the other day.
Well, now that all the Australian folks are gone, I'll change hats.
There you go.
Just for you, Lloyd. I know he's going to get a big bang out of this one.
You bet he is. The best one still to this date is what Dennis did with that man bun hat. That was la creme de la creme. That was
would be
unbelievable.
Every time my stepson comes down, because from time to time he has long hair, so he'll put it up in a man bun, you know. And every time he does that, I think of Lloyd. Just Lloyd would do. Yeah, Lloyd, it is a nice hat. But the guy that sent it to me, he's, you know.
That's another story.
That's another story. But I do hear he's running for president.
Yeah. Yeah, and his future vice president will be boarding a jet pretty quick.
Oh yeah, he's in Las Vegas,
Yeah, yeah.
the home of the Raiders.
The home of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah.
When he finally texted me, because he didn't land, and he was supposed to land like at 9:07, 9:08 p.m. It was 11 something at night when he texted me.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going, oh my God, he's just got to be dead. You know, from when he started taking off early in the morning. And then the 3-hour time difference. That was the first thing I typed. I go, Jimbo, remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, you want to talk about a long flight, flying from Denver to Manila.
Oh, yeah.
That was 21 hours. You fly from Denver to San Francisco, San Francisco to Beijing, and Beijing to Manila.
Yeah.
Sorry, Art. I wasn't laughing at you.
Well,
been busted.
the last I was texting with him, he says he was headed for the Strip.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Lloyd, you need a slush fund.
You're not supposed to talk about those.
He needs a super PAC.
Yeah, there you go. A super PAC.
Yeah.
Because that way it's a 5014C and nobody knows who's in that funds, and you can donate from here to eternity.
Mm-hmm.
And in my own opinion, that needs to be gotten rid of.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that part of McCain Feingold?
Yeah.
Oh God, what?
It doesn't matter, Lloyd. You'll never be able to find the money. Jim's gone with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He went to Vegas and he put it on red.
Yeah. It's gone now, Lloyd.
CES 2020 is in the books.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out of there this year.
Yeah, there is. Well, there's a lot of cool stuff that comes out of there almost every year.
Yeah.
Maybe more some years than others, I guess, but
well, especially after they got rid of Comdex. They used to be there. And then with the Consumer Electronics Show, then they more or less combined Comdex and Consumer Electronics Show together, over the decades. So now everything is, one, because what is it? There's three major locations. And of those three major locations, there's where the convention center was at. Then you've got the Sands Convention Center. Then you had the South, and then you had the West. And each one of those took up convention centers of anywhere from 4 to 5 other hotels.
Wow.
So, I mean, you are talking about massive overload of of products.
I'd like to check out the computer stuff, see what's new in the hard drives and memories and Let's see. Hey, we're up to 100 core processor.
Yeah. Well, you know what is Jim was going to go over there, so it'll be interesting if he's going to go live once he gets back. That would be the thing for him to do, is have a go live show, and then people could ask questions of what he saw, because some of the computer stuff like Dell and a few of the other manufacturers were in there, but I know Intel and I know AMD was close by, but I don't know if Intel was there or not. But I mean, nowadays, I mean, you can get, I mean, right now, if you got the money to buy it, I mean, you can get a 32 core processor.
Yeah.
A 32 core processor?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I follow this campaign extension service.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Campaign extension services. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, William Legwork, thank you for being in the chat, buddy. I appreciate you being here. You take care. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later.
Take care, Legwork.
Anyway, I was going to say that on YouTube there's a really neat computer channel. I'm trying to find out what the name of it is.
Good morning, Metro Drone.
Yes, hello.
Well, I know one of the things I did see there, they showed, I don't know who was doing it, whether it was, if it was Ken Dono or Aldrin or somebody there, but there was a couple other people I were following around with live broadcasts that they were doing or recorded. And one of the things that they had in there now was the big thing was the cooling systems that they were showing.
Yeah.
And there was even you'll be sitting there with water cooled system for your CPU, but then it had jumpers going over and water cooling for the RAM also.
Water cooling for the RAM?
Yeah.
Wow. I remember
every time I look at that, I just keep on wondering, going, electronics and water, electronics and water.
Yeah.
What's wrong with those two words?
Well, that's what I thought back in the early 2000s. I bought a water-cooled Sony computer. Mm-hmm. And me and my third wife, we started a wedding videography service. And so we needed another computer, and when we bought this Sony, it was liquid cooled. I'm not going to say it was water, but in the back of my head, I kept thinking, liquid cooled, electronics, liquid cooled. And then I went to try and pick the thing up. Man, it weighed a ton.
Yeah.
I needed a crane just to get it onto the desk.
Yeah, they're heavy.
But hey, it worked. So.
Yeah, it's called Phil's Computer Lab.
Oh, okay. I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, he's got a thing on here. It's a 32 core dual CPU AMD system for 2011 motherboard.
Wow. That's some screaming processing.
Yeah.
Does he have like a teddy bear for a logo?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm checking his channel out now.
You guys remember a company that was out years ago? It was called the PC Club.
Vaguely.
They were a top 500 company in the United States, and they sold their own brand of computers. They build them and sell them, but what they were known for is they would stock components. So you could go in there and pick up the, kind of like what Fry's is, but it was before Fry's was out.
Right.
and they had it in there, and they were always having problem with. They built some servers for each one of their stores, and then so all those servers, are connected back to the main headquarters.
Right.
And this is before we had high speed, internet like we have today. This is back during dial-up days, even. But everybody was having overheating problems even back then. Trying to, as games were coming out and people would want to push games onto them. So the one guy in there goes, "Oh, I solved the problem with cooling." And I go, "Well, what did you do?" And he says, "Well, come here." And he took me in the back closet where the server was. And then there was a supply air duct, and then the return was out through the door coming into the main corridor. So the supply had come down and travel on through. He took the plastic, dryer ducking hose that you'd use for the duck hose out. He clipped a piece of metal and tech screwed it onto the supply side, took that duck down straight on, and got a flange, clamped onto it, and then just screwed it onto the back of the incoming fan on the computer. So that cold air on that duct was going straight into that computer.
Wow. Well, that would certainly.
We're the only store that doesn't have an overheating problem.
Hey, Rodney, I gotta run. I have to go do some laundry today. So thanks for having me on here. Good to see you, Steve and Bill, Metro Drones. Good morning. Good to see you. Hey, take care, everybody. And, well, we'll see you guys at my show tonight.
All right, Art. You have a good day, brother.
All right.
See you later, man.
Bye-bye.
I want to welcome Metro Drones to the chat. Mike Kelly, good morning, my friend. Glad to have you here.
So what's been new and exciting for you, Rodney?
Oh, not a whole lot. I had a really long day yesterday. I worked 14 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to love it when they call you up one day and say, "Hey, we've got to test this function and it's got to be done by this date."
And that was the day before, right?
Yeah. I think, hey, Lloyd, here's the link if you want to come in, brother.
Wow, Steve Miller. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, Steve Miller, the one and only.
Good to see you.
Hey, Lloyd.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Steve. Look, he's going back to his psychedelic days in the 60s.
Whoops, hang on a second. Yeah.
Well, when we see a lot of smoke coming out, rising up around the desk, we'll know.
Now he's on fire.
Yeah.
He's trying to fire up that bong.
Yeah. You know, Rodney, I think I like your hat better than I do mine. I just haven't ordered one yet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I really like the one you have, but I do like this one too.
Well,
so I'll keep it.
I tried to, when I made that one, when I designed it, I thought I was making it just like this without the Lloyd Mendenhall, because people didn't need to confuse you. I know I get confused. That's why I have my name on my hat, but I should have done, Rodney, but I got the color wrong. Otherwise it would have looked more like mine. I did get the two lines, but I forgot the lettering was white, not red.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
well, it actually looks pretty nice.
I'm pleased with how they look. One of those is going to I think I can't remember if the hat is going to Thunderbird 6 or somebody else. I can't remember who I sent it to, but I sent all that. First thing I did right after the first of the year, Judy says, send out those prizes. You don't want somebody, saying, you're slacking. And I told everybody to be after the first. So that's the first thing I did. And then 3 days later, Ranger hurts himself. So it's like, well, there went all that money. But yeah, we've been really blessed. Ron Lockwood, his friend, is going to step in and take care of that. I was going to keep it anonymous till we finalized it, but he said it on Matt North's show last night after I was by drone. I thought,
Yeah.
Mel texted me and said he said it about here too.
And he mentioned it on this morning's show too.
Yeah. Mel had texted me. I was all the dogs decided to, I don't know what they're barking at out there, but they decided today was the day we're gonna bark,
Well,
eight something in the morning, like, really? Yeah. It's Saturday, you idiots.
Well, they sensed you were coming on my show.
That's it. I'm glad I'll be on here for a minute. Then I'm going to step away to go get my coffee because I haven't even had a cup of coffee.
Oh man, how are you surviving?
I barely am. Let me tell you. Oh yeah, it's. But man, I do appreciate everything everybody's done. I mean, it's just the outreach from everybody has just been outstanding. And I just checked it again, and we've gotten more since last night.
Wow.
And what I'm trying to, I really want to get it as close to 1,700 as I can, so that, that lady doesn't have to, have that big of a burden on it. So, but I did schedule him for the surgery. He'll be going in Monday morning, and I got to have him. Well, Rodney, you know this area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I live in Muskogee. I got to have him in Catoosa between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, goodness.
Which means I'll be leaving probably between 6 and 6:30 in the morning to take him up there, which means I got to get up about 5:30.
Yeah. The best way to go to Catoosa from here, I mean, I don't know if you already know this or not, but well, actually, I'm thinking old school when I was there. Now they got that. Was it the Cherokee Turnpike or
Creek Nation?
Yeah, the Creek Turnpike.
Yeah, I'll just take the Muskogee Turnpike and jump on the creek, and it'll take me right out to Catoosa.
Oh yeah.
Well,
jump off on 412. Do it, Steve.
How many miles is it?
I don't know. It's a 45-minute drive, but it's just so friggin' early.
Yeah. Yeah, it is early.
And but yeah, hey, I'm going to step out for just a second, and I'll be right back. But I got to go get my coffee. I can hardly talk.
All righty.
All right, be right back.
All right, brother. Well, like I was saying when Ron told us about that, things like this just kind of restores my faith in the human beings. I mean, with all the how do you say it without being offensive to people, evil in the world, you could say, there are still people that and in this community, the community that we're all in, how people will step up and help the other guy out.
Yeah.
And that just, I mean, it just cheers my heart.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you 100%. I mean, and especially as young as the dog is, I mean, he's only 4 years old. And I mean, for Judy, that's a big asset for her. I mean, huge asset, being service dog for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and for Lloyd too. I mean, for both of them.
So, and the dog's cute, just plain cute.
Yeah. The loving dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. I got my coffee.
Oh, good. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Steve, I'll get you a coffee cup one of these days here soon.
I have one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I
Yeah,
gotta go
that's
get
right.
my coffee. I'm waiting for it to finish brewing. In fact, it should be done. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to say good morning to Allison. She's in the house. That's my granddaughter.
Oh.
And I think she's the only new one that came in. Mike Kelly, I think, came in, and Steve Miller.
Let me get the pop out chat here so I can keep an eye on it. Yeah. Last night on Oz by Drone, I had this background. I didn't think anything about it. You know, it's one I was using on my show as part of my new setup, you know.
Uh-huh.
And won't let me. What? There we go. All right. Anyways, so I was by drone, and Ken Heron started watching. He says last night, he types in there, he says, "Hey Grumpster, my lawyers will be contacting you about Raz copyright infringement." And I just looked at him. I said, "Fine, but we use the same software. Where do you think I got this? Because this background comes from Wirecast, which so I'm licensed to it." I didn't even think that it looked enough like Raz, you know.
Well, it don't look like razzmatazz to me. It looks like you're traveling through a star field.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, you know. But he might have been talking about this one too. But this also came from yeah.
Well, unless his razzmatazz has changed, that don't even look like razzmatazz.
Yeah, well, no, it hasn't changed. I think he was just joking with me, you know.
Ornery.
Yeah, just being ornery. I just laughed at him.
Yeah, that's Ken.
It is. And I'm gonna wait till Steve comes back. I gotta tell you, did you hear any of Greg's show last night?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, when Steve comes back, I'm going to tell the story about a artificial intelligence in my house that has run amok. It's taken over, and I feel like I'm getting ready to go into one of those Terminator movies.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
But Rodney, would you mind if I put the campaign thing up in the chat?
No, Lloyd, go right ahead.
Okay, let's see if it paste. There we go. And for anybody that doesn't know, this is for my dog Ranger, which is I'm not one to, that was the thing when I said on my show Monday I wasn't going to do this, but my choice was to either come up with the money and get the surgery done or have him put down. And, he's my wife's service dog. He's even my service dog to an extent. And let me see if I can find what I was looking for.
In fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to copy this. Well, why don't I just go there?
Yeah.
And then for as long as it runs, I'll put it into my description.
Okay. Thank you. That would be really appreciated. I'm sorry, folks. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, so
so that means he's going to be twice as grumpy.
Yeah, probably.
Cheers, gentlemen.
There we go.
Cheers, Lloyd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm busy right now,
There
but
we go. There we go.
I had a reheat of coffee and it started cooling down. The burner, the warming burner had turned off.
so what you're saying is the coffee was already made, and you'd been waiting for this long time.
Yeah, well, I actually put it on when I got up.
Do you
And then I have it where it shuts off really quick after it does, so it doesn't keep heating up, because normally I'm the one that drinks it. And then I'll pull off the pot, let it cool off on the stove, and then I put it in the refrigerator to cool it down. And that way I can have coffee for a couple of days, because Linda only drinks decaf.
Ah, gotcha. Well, Lloyd's got a story to tell us, Steve.
Yeah.
I heard
Let
something
me.
about AI. I was listening.
Oh, were you? Okay. Let me get this picture brought in first so I can have it later. Oh, where'd it go? I just added. There it is. All right. Okay. So, night before last, Judy and I are laying there watching TV, and we have an Alexa. I have to say it quiet but in our bedroom, we renamed it to computer because Judy can't remember that other name, the Alexa. She forgets it. So, and Echo was, so computer was so we're laying there, we're watching, I don't know what we was watching, probably that Australian mystery show that we watch. But anyways, so we're laid back and we're watching it, and all of a sudden she comes on, the computer comes on, and she goes, "What would you like to ask?" Nothing. Judy's over there saying nothing. And all of a sudden we hear, "What would you like to, oh, excuse me, what would you like to ask?" Nothing. Excuse me, what would you like to ask? We're going, what the hell is going on? Excuse me, ask me a question. No. Excuse me, ask me a question. It did that 15 or 20 times. Just kept farting and farting and farting. And I'm going, what in God? Finally, I just yelled, stop. And it quit. But I'm like, somebody's hacked it. I swear to God, somebody hacked our Alexa.
I wonder if it could have been responding to something that was said on the television.
It probably was, but
that's what I thought. Maybe they said computer.
Yeah, but the thing is the fart. I don't know where that came from. You know, has it been watching my shows? I don't know.
That would be something.
That was that. Oh, and the other one was on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
It's midnight. The ball has dropped. Fireworks are going off everywhere. And I get up and walk around to the other side of the bed where Judy's laying. And I'm leaning down. And I'm getting very close. And, you know, moisten my lips. And I'm just about, hey, wake up. It's time to get up. It scared the living hell out of me.
That's why I don't keep it in my bedroom.
Well, I got it in there so that Judy can reach me. Either, you know, she can use that to call on the phone, you know,
that's true. Yeah.
You know, or if I'm in here, she can get hold of me that way too. But that thing, talk about ruining the New Year's Eve kiss. And turns out there was 2 British guys in there telling me what had happened is about, I don't know, 4:00 that afternoon. Yeah, Green Frog RC, you may be right, because I'm known for my farts. But no, and what happened, I set the flipping alarm for midnight in case we did fall asleep. It would wake us up and, oh, it's midnight, happy New Year's, blah blah blah. and go back to sleep, you know. But no, yeah, we were awake, and that was 4 p.m. This was, 8 hours later. I'd forgot I'd set the alarm, and to be honest with you, I'd never heard the alarm on it before, so I didn't know what it did. Scared the bejeebers out of us.
Just remember, those microphones never turn off. They are always on.
I know, and it's just.
I have one that we received for Christmas 3 years ago or 4 years ago now.
Right.
It's still in the box.
A lot of people, I understand they don't want the invasion, but
for you, it's perfect. Well,
it is. I mean,
I've be able to call you on a phone.
Right.
She can't.
And I've got this monitor, and it sits next to her bed, and that's how she normally reaches me. And then if I can't get up to go get it, I can just call her here and talk back. And, but yeah, they're invasive, There's one TV show. It's a British mystery. I mean, it's a Australian mystery set in the roaring 20s. It's really good. And it's called Miss Fisher's Mysteries. And let's see. I love me some Alexa. Laugh out loud. We got her wired to a bunch of handy things around the house. Yeah. I mean, and it's great for us. Yeah. But some days it's just annoying. But yeah. And I forgot where I was going with that story, so I'll shut up now.
We were sitting there, me and my wife were sitting there watching TV one day, and one of the shows we was watching, one of the characters' name was Alexa.
Uh-huh.
And another character said, "Hey Alexa, what blah blah blah." And Alexa speaks up and goes, "I don't know the answer to that one."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, that's as I said, sometimes very invasive. What I was going to do is so people kind of get an idea why I've got this fundraiser up. I'm going to show you guys the X-ray, if the ones that haven't seen it out there. And this is the main reason for the fundraiser. As you can see, it's his hip, his upper, and then those two bones are supposed to be connected, that little round circle in the middle, instead of the one slid forward,
Ouch.
Ouch is right. Yeah. I thought it was his that lower one was out of place, but when I started looking at it and then started looking at his leg and I saw that swelling, like, oh, okay. So that's the first joint, because they have, well, I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Let me put this back up. Their leg comes down off the femur and has that first knee, and then it comes in and it goes back out, and there's like a second knee, and then it comes back down again. So the leg is like this, back, and then down. So, and yeah, that's that first knee below at the bottom, right at the bottom of the femur. And I don't know why they're out barking, but I'm trying to keep him settled down. Them little Pomeranians like to get him fired up. But anyway, so it's
the little dogs you got to watch out for.
Yeah, exactly. Little ankle biters. But but that knee being out of place is and that's the one that's going to cost us $2,700. So
wow.
I just checked. I've had some people send me some stuff through PayPal, because either they didn't want to mess with GoFundMe or something, but we've raised over $1,000 now,
Awesome.
everybody together. I just checked, and it was we'd gone over 1,000 last night. I think we're at 1,000. Let's see, so 1,000 and I think 45. 1,045 or 1,050.
You're 905 on GoFundMe.
Yeah, I'm 905 there, and I got another 160. So actually, we're at 1,065. Yeah, 1,065. Yeah, and so I went ahead and scheduled the surgery. I'm gonna be talking to Ron Lockwood and get some particulars about that lady that wants to help. But if something like that doesn't work, I felt close enough that because the sooner we get this done, the better it's going to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be done as soon as possible. So that's the urgency, and you don't know how bad that hurt to have to ask for that help, but it was either that or we're going to have him put down. And he turns 4 years old next month on Valentine's Day.
He's too young to have put down now.
Yeah.
And if it could be repaired, you know what?
Yeah.
I think you're making the right call. And then that brings out the point that I made earlier, and I don't know if you heard it. You were stepped away to get your coffee. But one of the main reasons I've stuck with you two is because how good people are in this community that we're in.
Yes.
Yeah. You have your bad guys,
right?
But even more, you have your good guys that, to me, in my opinion, outweigh the bad guys. Really. So
it does. It does. I mean, Mike Kelly. You're right. That's what friends are for, and it's just been an outpouring that Judy and I are just humbled by, and and Ranger means a lot to me and Judy both, because I'll tell you a story about. It was first. He was just about a year and a half old. He might not have even been a year old yet, come to think of it. But he'd already started all of his training for service dog. I'd already worked with him and got him started on that. But it was 4th of July, so he might have been still under a year. And, I was in the service and saw a few things and heard a few things, and we've all been there at some point. And the fireworks that year was just ungodly. They were firing off as we were coming home from our son's house next door. Judy and I were coming home. Somebody was just firing off mortar after mortar after mortar, and they kept it up all night. The smoke was in the air. It was just unbelievable. But hey, let me break for just a second, and then I'll come back and tell that story. I got to go check on Judy. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, you won't get that around here. We'll have to have Lloyd move back to California. There's only 3 cities in all of Southern California here that you can purchase legal fireworks at. Otherwise, you can't even purchase them.
I thought California outlawed fireworks statewide. I guess cities have some leeway then, I guess.
Yeah. But typically they're, major ones. Like for us here at the harbor, for the 4th of July, they have a big a barge that comes down from LA, and they tow it down, and everything's shot off up in the up into the water. So
yeah,
no chances of fires. Unlike watching Greg Cooner on his New Year's broadcast, and almost the whole entire state's on fire, and they're shooting fireworks off over there. I guess there was a lot of torqued off people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch that link, Rodney, if you never have, that Mike Kelly put up there.
Okay.
It's a Saturday night skit, back kind of the days of when they used to do good skits, but it's a more modern one about Alexa.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It is hilarious. No, Mike, I'm in Dana Point, halfway between LA and San Diego, right on the coast.
You know, Steve, I remember when we'd cruise up, when we'd go out, we'd sometimes cruise up the coast towards Pendleton.
Mhm.
And I remember taking bearings off of Dana Point,
Mhm.
that lighthouse you got there.
Well, back then, the one bearing you take off from was the old Atlantic Richfield Tower, which was still there.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah, it was the tower that was there, and that was there for decades. Bill, good morning.
Morning, Bill.
What the world? You coming down to LA?
Where's Bill from at?
He's up in Washington.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's a West Coaster.
Yeah, I knew he was a West Coaster. I was thinking he was in California. Don't know why.
At first, I thought he was myself too, until all of a sudden I looked at one of his videos one day, and then I saw 15 miles, north of Seattle.
Okay.
I saw the snow out in his back, and he was filming, going, "Oh, that's not California."
My half sister and her husband live near Bremerton. I forget. I don't want to say Bangor. They live around Bangor, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I think is where they live. Because I know my sister works at the shipyard there in Bremerton.
Oh, okay. What's going to bring you down to LA, Bill?
Oh, he lives in Everett. Okay.
Yeah. That's right, Mike. About 5 hours. I've done a lot of work over there.
Oh man, he lives about 4 miles from Boeing.
Yeah.
Bill does. That ought to be interesting if they're testing planes and stuff. Do they still do that in there? I remember seeing a video when they had finished the prototype for the 707.
Boy, you're dating yourself.
I don't need to talk about the past dating myself. Everybody knows I was around when Noah was chief naval operations. But Steve, what was I saying?
But the 707.
Oh yeah, the 707. The pilot, the test pilot that was flying the 707, took off. He circled around and came down the runway, and then did a barrel roll with the 747.
707.
Or 707, yeah. What did I say? 747?
But
Yeah.
a 747 can do a barrel roll.
Huh?
A 747 can do a barrel roll.
Oh, I'm sure it can.
Well, yeah, they'll do it, but
why would you want to? But
the thrill to say I did.
Well, that's true.
I mean, how many people can go along saying, "Yeah, I took a 747 and took it on a barrel roll"?
Well, that was the whole point. The guy that was narrating the video was the pilot's son, and he was there at the Boeing plant when his father did that.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was so cool.
Yeah.
You know. And I can only imagine it. All right, Bill, you have a good one, brother.
Take care, Bill. Have a great day and a good weekend.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Mike's over in Phoenix.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I used to do some work over there. Mike, we used to go over there. My company, electrical contractor. We used to install anti-shopping cart theft systems. So we'd go over there to Phoenix to put them in. Over there in Las Vegas too. Besides doing them all in California here.
The closest I've ever been to Phoenix was taking online courses with the University of Phoenix.
Well, I was there. In fact, I applied at Arizona State.
Did you?
Yeah, I was either going to go into there or go into the electrical apprenticeship program because Arizona State has the best construction program anywhere in the world. They second to none. When you're in there, when you're say your junior year of college, and they have those job fairs to where employers come in and letting you know what they're going to have coming up in the next year. So
Yeah.
It's like, okay, there's one job for 10 people. The average employers seeking out of ASU construction building program, even to this date, is 5 employers for every student graduating from that school.
Wow.
Because one of the biggest things that they do there is the head of the division. I went over there to meet him because I had 2 friends of mine that went there. And they'd gone on earlier on. I went in the service and then came back out, was doing some other stuff. And then I thought, well, I'm going to go apply. And I met the dean. And one of the things that's required in your junior and your senior year, you will work as an intern for every type of major contractor. So if you're going at that point, you do a split to heavy construction for just regular, like general, and then you go into big dam and bridge building construction. And like you'll have to work for a general contractor, a mechanical, electrical, HVAC, plumbing, site, everything. You've got to work for 6 weeks for each one of them during that period of time. And you do not get compensated. You do not complete it. You're kicked out of the program.
Wow. That's tough.
Well, the thing is it makes you that much better.
Oh, well, yeah. I
like what's going on.
I see the point in it. And it's probably not as tough as I think it sounds like. It sounds more tough than it probably is anyway.
That's a lot of hours.
It requires you to actually, do the work and learn the skill and the trade, Yeah.
Well, and that's always a good thing, believe me.
Yeah. And today's, young folks aren't having to be pushed to those limits,
You come out of school knowing book knowledge only and no practical knowledge.
Yeah.
Because what it is a project management program that they have there.
Right.
And it's like second to none. Because my 2 friends that graduated from there, they went on and they worked actually for Bechtel doing the nuclear power plants.
Right.
And then the one after that went on and he became ended up being the head engineer before he retired for BART.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Bay Area Transit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, is Judy okay, Lloyd?
Yeah, she's okay. She just woke up and her first question is always if she looks over and I'm not there and she's okay, where are you at?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm in here with Rodney and Steve and visiting. And she, okay. And so I had to get her, freshen up get her a fresh Pepsi this morning. And, that's her morning drink.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, she was okay. She just, yesterday, this has been the kind of week we've had. Monday, she went in for her, it was a 2-month checkup since her pneumonia. She went in to have a CT of her chest and to make sure that wasn't cancer, that it was scar tissue like they thought.
Right.
And it shows, that's fine. Everything was good. But she's had another little problem had popped up here a while back. and and she's got a new doctor, and the new doctor found out who the grumpy vlogger was after about 15 minutes of lecturing. I got mad and I said, listen, we're both old folks. We know. We can watch TV. We can hear it. You're not the first doctor to say this. Now quit. And I told her, I said, I'm going to say this right here. Quit the damn lecturing and tell us what we're here for. And that's how's her cancer. And I was ticked off. She's a new doctor to us. And she may not, if she does that again, she won't be our doctor. I'll find it. I'll make sure we get a different one. But it just, and
no, you weren't happy on your vlog.
Huh?
You weren't happy on your vlog.
No, I was ticked off still. And, but, so, thanks, Mike Kelly. I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. I appreciate everybody, about Ranger. That's just meant a lot to us. Meant a lot to Judy because, a week ago yesterday, we thought we were going to lose him. We thought we were going to have him put down, and then things kind of turned around. But anyway, so Monday we went up for the CT. Tuesday she had a follow up with her primary care doctor, and then we've been doing all this, and then we had to get up early and get her up to see the doctor yesterday, and that's probably why I was a little grumpy. That and the fact, I don't know if you guys know this, but did you know that 5 minutes till 8 is different than 8:55?
Really?
I was laughing my butt off when you were explaining that.
I knew we had to get up at 5 minutes to 8. Why in the hell I put 8:55 in my alarm in my phone? I have no clue. But Judy, the good thing is Judy was having a bad dream, and I pissed her off in the dream, so she yelled at me, and it woke me up. She was chewing me out for something in her dream, and it woke me up. And we had 20 minutes to get dressed, get loaded, go get gas, and get on the road. And sometimes getting Judy dressed is helping her get dressed is a chore, and getting her in the wheelchair, and it was we made it. Fortunately, I outsmart myself. When they tell me the check-in time is by at least 10:15, I write it on the calendar. I have to be there by 10 o'clock. That way
I do the same thing.
You have to, because they make your appointments like a month in advance, and you forget what's happening. Like, okay, that's good. I come home, I write it on the calendar. I still use a big paper calendar. And matter of fact, this year my kids got me a Star Wars calendar. They went Star Wars.
Cool.
Yeah. Believe it or not, that's what this T-shirt is. And it's been 42 years since the first one came out.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I say. Yeah, that's what I say. And that's what this number 42 stands for, because it's a T-shirt they got me. And actually, that number is an Easter egg in the newest movie. So anybody has seen it or hasn't seen it yet and get a chance to, it's worth seeing, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah, but there was an Easter egg about this number 42. And
and I'm gonna have to go when it comes out. I'm gonna have to watch it again so I can.
Yeah, because they mentioned the number 42 in the movie. You just have to. As soon as we were sitting there, and I had this shirt on, and everybody, all the young guys were saying, "Oh man, I love that shirt." And yeah, kids got it for me for Christmas and all that. And then I sat down there, and Patrick was sitting next to me, and they just rebuilt our theater. Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. My wife's youngest grandson got this for me.
Oh, cool.
And then the other grandchildren, George and Liz, they got me a Star Wars coffee cup.
Oh, cool. Well, I got this from my kids.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Falcon.
Is that a
It's
speaker?
a Bluetooth.
Blue. Cool.
What?
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth. It turn it on and you know, the back end lights up and it's got it just connected with my phone, so I'll shut it.
A speaker or
It's a speaker. I think it's a speaker and hands-free microphone on it too. So you can use it for a speaker but yeah, it's a great speaker. It's got I can't play it because you get hit with a copyright strike, but it plays a Star Wars theme, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, they got me that. And
I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to get out there this weekend, maybe.
yeah, if you get a chance, it in my opinion, you know, it's for the next generation, you know, because you know those
Yeah.
actors can't live forever, and you know, so they had to do something, and I think they finish off the story really well. But yeah,
I remember I saw the Star Wars movie, the first one. I want to say we were in Canada. The ship I was stationed on had gone to Canada for their fleet week or whatever they call it.
right, yeah,
And me and a couple of buddies went to the theater there in Vancouver, BC, and Star Wars was playing.
right,
I want to say, well, it had to have been 77 because that's when it came out in theaters.
yeah.
And it was just awesome. It was such a good movie. And then when I got back, my soon-to-be wife got upset with me because I went to see it before she did.
Well, I'm trying to think. 77. I can't remember if I was still married at that point or not. That would have been X number 1 in 77. No, we were still married. We hadn't split up yet, so we must have gone to the theater to see it. We may have gone on base to see it because, you know, base theaters are pretty good, pretty decent. But yeah, I know I saw it when it came out. And I remember I was out of the service and working when somebody come walking in. You know, this is before everybody had cell phones and YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff. When Return of the Jedi came out, and they said that one guy says Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's, or maybe it was Return of the Jedi. I mean, Empire Strikes Back. He says Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, and I go, no, are you kidding me? You know, it's like, really? Yeah. So
Yeah, I remember the first one. In fact, I had the liquor store back then, and one of a friend of mine, he came by and he goes, "Hey, you want to go see?" Because I was off that evening.
right,
He goes, "Want to go see the movie?" So he buys the tickets. He goes and drives up from where we were here in San Juan up to Orange, which is about a 25-30 minute drive up to buy the tickets because that's the only theaters it was playing in back then, and for us down here. So he gets back and I go, "Well, what time is the show? What time did you get?" He goes, 12:15. And he got back in the morning, and I'm going, 12:15, we'll never make it. He goes, no, 12:15 a.m. We got up there at 10 before, no, it was about 9 o'clock.
right,
And we started waiting in line, and we were behind the show that was, nowadays you can get reserved seating.
right.
We were waiting for the next show to start. So 2 shows before was still playing. The complete show was in front of us. And then we were in, and by the time we got there, we were late.
Right.
We ended up sitting front row, dead center.
Oh,
Wow.
The only good thing about that whole thing was when they went to
hyperspeed.
the first time.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa.
Yeah. It was, kids nowadays, you got digital everything. I mean, I'm sitting here with a digital background. All of this stuff, and we couldn't have done this kind of stuff, 42 years ago. Unless we were in a professional broadcast studio.
Yeah.
But nowadays these kids, you throw something together like this in 5 minutes, if you know how to do it. But back then, when they went to hyperspace that first time, that just blows you away,
Oh, it does,
and yeah,
it's like you drifting through your star field there.
yeah. This is as I said, I'm trying to redo my, of course, this. Why have I got that? I need to shut that off. I just realized it was on there.
You're advertising us by drone for free.
Yeah, I know. Where is it? There we go. Is that it? Nope, that's not it.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Is that it? Nope, that's not it either. All right, let me find it. I know why.
You have it on the Stream Deck?
Yeah, let me find it. I got too much crap here. That's the problem.
Yeah, Greg's getting free advertising. He's not going to complain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
All right. I got rid of it.
I logged in right as you guys were signing off.
Oh, yeah. We had a fun night last night on Greg's show.
Talking about theaters, what a difference from the day you and I was going as kids going to the theaters.
Yeah.
And even Steve, I'm sure.
Yeah.
He's not that much younger than us. I mean, I remember
he's actually older than me.
I'm older than both of you.
Not by much.
Not by much, no, but he's older than both of us.
Not you, Rodney, but by Lloyd we are.
Yeah.
How old are you, Lloyd?
I'm 63.
Really?
Everybody thinks I'm older. Yeah, I know. Yeah. My wife married me young enough that she could train me to be what she wanted.
Oh, okay.
It still didn't work.
It didn't work now. But she stuck with me now.
Well, it's a good thing she stuck with you. Just imagine how grumpy you would be if she hadn't.
Oh my God, yeah. I was kind of laughing at what True Drone Review said. What a lot of people don't know is, well, the guys that follow me pretty close do, but this is a third marriage for both Judy and I, not to each other but we've both been married 2 previous times, and we celebrated. We're coming up on 39 years marriage now. So it does work. You just got to find the right person. And that's where I've been with Judy. And we, but the thing is, I've known her since I was like 6, and but when we got married, her kids, their dad had never been in their life. She was living up at her folks' house. And so I just adopted her kids, but yeah. And I'm dad to him, even my son, my oldest son, now the youngest one, Patrick, the one I went to see, he's a year older than you guys have heard me talk about my son, Paco, from my first marriage. He's a year older than Paco. So I'm old enough to be his dad, but James, I'm not that much older. I am 13, 14 years older than him. And, but I'm still dad. He was, unfortunately I got him just as he was starting to be a teenager. What a pain. But he turned out to be a good kid. I thought he was going to go down the wrong road, and he turned his life around, and now he's a chief of police.
Yeah. Cool.
So
hey, I don't know if you know it or not, but Judy sent me a friend request about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. She did. And we were getting her for her birthday, for Christmas. She wanted keyboarding and she wanted her own computer, and she's been feeling good enough to get in there to start looking at Facebook and stuff like that. So yeah, and she knows who you guys are. So I was sitting there with her, and so she said, "Oh yeah, I want to be friends with the guys that follow you on YouTube too." So I said, "Okay." So
What was she thinking of?
I know. I said,
She's throwing in with the wrong crowd here.
yeah,
Anyway, where I was going, I was telling her that I went to Tulsa Central High School, and
yeah,
she went to Will Rogers.
right.
Roughly about the same time I was at Central. Now, I was probably going from junior high school into high school, which is I went from Horseman Junior High School to Central High School. But I think she may have gone to school with my cousin. And I've asked you once if you knew a Charles Thompson.
Yeah, I know you've asked that. And unfortunately, sometimes her memory is since she's had 3 mile strokes, it kind of affected her memory a little bit. But she was really trying to search that date. Is really like, that sounds so familiar, but
when I told Charles Ray, he goes, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she would have gone under the name of Judy. No, well, it depends, because she got married at the end of her junior year, and she was supposed to graduate in 68, and she married a guy in the Air Force, and they went out to California and then came back. They were out at the air base there at Sacramento.
Travis?
No, it wasn't Travis. It was Mather. Yeah, they were at Mather, and because he was in Missile Command or something like that. And then they came back out here, and when they got back up to when he got out, they went into Tulsa, and she went back to school, and so she graduated in 70, and so
that would have been the same year my cousin graduated.
Yeah, well, they probably graduated together, but she would have been under the name Pennington, Judy Pennington.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick. Oh, hello, Rick Halver.
Rick Halber.
Yeah.
Back in.
I am going to post that link one more time if you don't mind.
I don't mind, Lloyd. You go right ahead, brother.
Because even though we've got somebody who's going to cover the rest of it, I would really like to not put that much of a burden on one person. I mean, we're getting closer and closer. It's just the kindness of everybody in this group has just blown me away.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're up to 9:15 out
I
there.
just saw that. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I appreciate it. I really do. And like I said, I was close enough that because I'm going to pay for part of it. I had enough, I qualified for enough to be able to make payments on part of it. There goes my I get VA, so I got a pay raise on that. I didn't get a lot. I broke even with Social Security. Actually, I think I got $6 from Social Security, and Judy broke even. So we gained $6 or $9 off that. But I paid off something. Well, that's all gone by the wayside now, because it's all going to go back on Ranger. So it's a good thing I got that stuff taken care of, because by next month I'm going to be starting something. It's like just, it's one of those things. It's just life.
You're up to 965 now, Lloyd.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, man. You guys are just everybody's just too nice. Yeah, everybody's just I appreciate it. I really do. I really do.
Like, who was it? Mike Kelly. That's what friends are for, brother.
Yeah, I know, but it's humbling to this old guy. I'll tell you, because there's so many other people that are in need, and I just thought, you know, do I really want to do this? But I thought I'm so close to that point that I can get it done. If I could just get a little help, well, that would, you know, and
Well, it's never easy to ask for help.
no, it
But
was a hard decision. I sat up that night, and
if you ask for it, people will help.
yeah, they have been very helpful. They have been very helpful. And I guess what means the most is because he's so special to Judy, because he's helped her several times when she's fallen when I wasn't around to get up off the floor, and he can't do that now. And you can see he's wanting to help, but you know, dog's got a personality, and he's got just an unbelievable good personality, but you can see it when he knows that either I'm needing help with balance or she is or something. You could see it's like he's wanting to do it, but he knows he can't, you know. And he's a smart dog. I mean, he's a.
If you don't mind, and you may have mentioned it, and I may have missed it. How did he hurt his leg?
We don't know. We just know that about 6 or 7 weeks ago, he had a spell where he was limping a little bit, you know, but then it quit, and they're little ankle biters.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for laughing.
And people wonder why I'm grumpy. They shut up, and as soon as I bring my mic back up live, they start barking again. Like, but anyways, no, he started limping, and then he got over it, and he was okay. And Mariah, if you guys saw the video of the girl that got sick eating the Vegemite, well, she went and got her bachelor's degree in veterinary medicine and was getting ready, trying to get into the school now, waiting to get into to become a veterinary. But right now she's a licensed vet tech, and she also comes over on the weekends and helps clean house around here for us. And she's like a granddaughter to us.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Okay, so anyways, she was looking at him and says, well, I can't see what's wrong with him right now. I can't feel anything in his leg. So we let it go. And then 2 weeks ago tomorrow, she was over. And during that, sometime within, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And he started limping more. And she came back over and checked on him one other time. And like by Wednesday, he was limping really bad. He wasn't putting any weight on that. So I knew, and I called her up, and she says, yeah, bring him in tomorrow morning. And so I did. And then she called and told me what the x-ray showed.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what can we do? You know, can be popped back in place? No, it has to be surgically put back in place. Like, you know, and then she told me how much it was going to cost. She'd already warned me if it was something like that, what it would cost. And I'm going, and that was on Friday a week ago. And that's when I was on late getting into Greg's show, because I just decided that if we were going to have him put down, I couldn't watch. I'm too tenderhearted. And, you know, and they said the vet would call about 5 and give me my options. So at 5:45, they call me and says, oh, Ranger's ready to come pick up. So I go down there, and they start handing me a bottle of pills and stuff like that. And they're going, I thought, you know, we were going to talk about his options. I said, because I can't afford the surgery. That's why I didn't, I didn't want to bring him home if I'm going to lose him, you know. He said, oh no, the doctor's going to try and get it reduced price for you somewhere. Well, and she did. She got it down to $2,700, you know, which for this type of surgery, they told me between $3,000 and $5,000. And this surgery is closer to the $5,000 side, you know. So yeah. And I said, man, and I said, okay, well, so I brought him home, and I started scratching my head and started looking around. And finally, Monday morning, I called the surgeon. They gave me the number for that for that vet. And I called him, and we talked about him. And she said, well, there's care credit. And I went in and I qualified for 1,000 of it. So it's like that left me that 1,700 short, you know, and it's like, you know, and that was on Tuesday, and it's like, all right, I didn't want to do this, but by then it's like, man, I can't let go of him. He's too young, you know, and he means too much to Judy. So anyways, and that's where we're at. And with the generosity of everybody, he's scheduled for his surgery Monday. So,
Well,
That's
you're,
right.
yeah.
you're at 1,000 right now.
Oh, wow. It just keeps climbing. And like I said, I appreciate that because, you know, that means, oh my God, Rick, Rodney, you guys, it just refreshed on my screen. And like, you guys have done enough, you know, but man, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Be quiet.
Uh,
Friends, brother. Friends.
I know. You know, speaking of friends, Rodney, you talked about, I heard you talk about you had to work, was it yesterday, some long hours?
Yeah.
As much as we've talked to each other, I've never asked, what is it that you do?
Well, Lloyd, I could tell you, but then I'd have to shoot you.
There's some days I wouldn't mind that option.
Well, that's not quite the reaction I was looking for. No, I work on simulation systems for the Aegis weapon system.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
And that's pretty much all you're going to get from me. So.
Oh, that's fine. You know, I just, you know, you could have just said, well, I do stuff for the military or whatever, and I'd been happy with that. I know they rescinded my clearance, I think finally 5 years ago. They took it away.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And they may not have. They just haven't. It hasn't been brought up in any correspondence lately. So, but yeah, I had the high end of the top secret when I was in the military. So, and I carried it. They kept it going because I went up to the VA hospital one time, and my dentist, his father was worked at the Pentagon as a general, and we were talking and blah, blah, blah. A couple of things happened. And I went back about, you know, everything with the VA is 8 weeks, you know. They put a temporary filling in. Well, they can't really fill it permanently for 8 weeks. You know, if it falls out, come back emergency and we'll fix it. Like, why don't you just do a permanent one now or whatever? But anyway, so I went back for that, and he says, and he hadn't told me who his dad was, but then he slips me a note and he says, oh, this is from Dad. He said to tell you hi. And I looked at the name like, oh, I know who that is. And I said, he's still around? I thought he was dead. Because, you know,
After that comment, I wouldn't be going back to this guy for any reason.
yeah. But he was, you know, he was a great guy. And
was he someone? I take it he was someone you served with then.
His dad, yeah. As a matter of fact, his dad was was with the 82nd Airborne, the 75th Ranger Battalion, and I was a ROMAD for that group, radio operator, maintenance, and driver. I was a forward observer.
Okay. Because
I had a weapons specialty. That's some of what I did while I was in the service. And so that's, yeah. But anyways, and he was one of the guys that knew who I was. He was one of my commanders when I was assigned.
Cool. You know,
why anybody in the Air Force they told me I had to jump, that I had to get jump qualification. No, ain't gonna happen. So we went up. They literally pushed me out the back door, and I went down screaming like a girl. it was a static line jump, so my chute came out. I wouldn't have been able to pull this cord anyways. But
Yeah, I can see that picture. You.
that was me. Yeah, yeah. I was screaming all the way down.
Why jump out of a perfectly good?
Exactly. I was in the Air Force. This made no sense to me. You know, pushed me out the back of a C-130. What was he thinking? One time. That's it. Never again. I told him.
Character.
Yeah. I think I pretty lost any character I might have had. They lost all respect for me, screaming all the way down. And I'm sure I know, because I know a couple of those guys that went with me, they learned some new words that day, because I was I tell people when I was a kid I used to cuss like a sailor. Then I joined the Air Force and it got worse. Oh my God.
One of the funnest times we ever had, we had to do it twice. One was up at George Air Force Base, up in Victor.
Yeah.
We had to go up the tower up there in that big, huge pool and, pretend like you're coming out the back of a C-130 or another aircraft.
Yeah.
Throw the life raft off, jump out the back end for dipping into the water, inflate the life raft, go through the procedures.
Right.
Well, and they told us that was on the second day, 2 weeks being there.
Right.
Well, you're going to be out there for 24 hours. So what did we do? We went back down into Victorville the one day and picked up some all plastic playing cards and a bunch of waterproof matches so we could play poker while we were sitting there.
Yeah. I know exactly what that course is. Yeah, I was at George Air Force Base.
Yeah, that was amazing. If you were out here on the West Coast, that you went through for your flight training.
Yeah.
I thought of this before Mel got off, but I sent Lloyd. I sent you, Steve, and Mel a joke.
Oh, did you?
On Facebook Messenger or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
I sent it to you, I think either yesterday or the day before.
Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can find it. What is that?
It says attachment unavailable.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Content not found. I forgot to tell you. I was going to send it back to tell you. It says content not found.
Well, I'll be all right. Well, hang on a minute, and I'll just read it to you. It says it came from a Facebook page called Military Humor.
Okay.
And it goes: a Navy chief is walking through the hallways in the Pentagon when an Air Force general from behind says, "Excuse me, Sergeant." The chief keeps walking. The general repeats, "Excuse me, Sergeant." The chief keeps walking. The general yells, "Excuse me, Sergeant," and grabs the chief by the shoulder. The chief rolls around and gives the general the stink eye. General asks the chief, "Why didn't you respond when I addressed you?" The chief replies, "Sir, I'm not a sergeant. I'm a U.S. Navy Chief Petty Officer." The general then says, "Well, if you were in the Air Force, you'd be a sergeant." Not missing a beat, the chief replies, "No, sir. If I were in the Air Force, I'd be a general."
There's a lot of truth to that too. I knew there's
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well,
I like that.
I've got to run. I've got to get out to work.
All right, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining the panel, brother.
Thank you, Rodney. I appreciate it. Lloyd, my brother.
Yeah,
my other brother by a different mother.
Yeah.
Good to see you and everybody. Rick, Brian, who else is still in here? I don't know if Tomas is still in here or not, but everybody else, I wish you all a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care.
Have a
all
good
right, you
one.
Take care, Steve. All right. Catch you
gentlemen.
later.
Yeah, it's time to get off.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, it's I just meant to jump on for a little bit anyways, but I wanted to thank everybody, and you guys are just too much sometimes. It's just
Well, we like to be a pain in the butt.
yeah, but this is the kind of pain in the butt I like,
It's a good thing.
It really is. You guys are just unbelievable. And thanks, and thanks for letting me come on here and talk about it.
You're welcome. You're welcome on this show anytime, Lloyd.
Well, as you know, I'm not usually up this early.
I understand that. That's why I was kind of surprised when you popped into the chat. I'm like, well,
right
here, all right.
Yeah, and I knew that. I thought, well, I got to come on there and talk.
Well, I mentioned last week. Don't know who I was. It was somebody. I think it was Mel. I wonder if Lloyd knows what I'm doing. If you ever gone back and look at my chats, about every so often I'm like holding my hat up saying political announcement.
I have seen that, and I've meant to thank you for that. It's just like, yeah. I get a lot of good advertisement out of that hat and those buttons. I've been getting a lot of good advertisement out of it.
Before you go,
it
was Mel that and I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was last weekend. I go, it's time for a political announcement. And Mel goes, wait a minute, Rodney, I thought you didn't do politics on your channel. I said, well, this one I will. And I went like that. Grumpy vlogger for president. He goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, Rodney, I appreciate it. You guys have all helped, just not just with Ranger, but everything, the prayers and stuff for Judy and guys, keep her in your prayers again, because I was starting to tell that it's in on top of it being mad at the doctor, also there's something they're wanting to check out because she's got a bit of a problem, and the doctor says, well, we need to check this out now, because even though the CT and everything has showed there's nothing there, it could be so minute we can't see it, so we need to do a test that can tell for sure. But she's concerned there might be secondary bladder cancer, or the very start of it.
Well, I certainly hope not.
No, I honestly don't think, because this problem has been prevalent since before. It's been a while, but she finally got the doctor to, okay. Once the doctor realized I would go to listen to her lecturing for another hour, she got down to business, and she did okay after that. But she found out who the grumpy vlogger was. That's for damn sure.
Well, she might become your number one fan now.
You don't know. Yeah, she might. She kind of. I said, okay, listen, we are adults. We got grandkids. We got great grandkids. You need to back off the lecture. We've heard it. We've seen the commercials. We watch TV. We read the brochures. It doesn't change the fact that we're not here for that. We're not here for, the latest fad in not smoking or whatever. It's whatever. Just shut up and get on with the business.
Yeah.
And she like.
So I take it she was talking about Judy smoking.
Yeah. And hell, we know that. Judy knows it, but you don't have to spend 30 minutes lecturing. And I finally said, okay, I've had enough. Stop right there. She goes, people don't talk to doctors that way. Well, I damn sure do. If I think they've stepped across the line.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I threw one lady out of the. I threw one lady out of Judy's ICU because she wanted to do that, and I told her, I said, "You can get the hell out now, and they can send in another doctor."
Yeah,
we're thank you, Rick. Yeah, and Rick needs our prayers too. And
yes,
I keep him in my prayers all the time. But yeah,
absolutely, I do too.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I just want to thank you, Rodney, for everything, for letting me come on, and as I said, I was awake this morning. The dogs woke me up. Oh, I was going to tell you, we had tornado warnings when we we actually had to pull over on the turnpike coming back from Tulsa yesterday because it was so bad. It was blowing all over it. We couldn't see. And everybody started pulling over because, and my phone started saying tornado imminent in the area that you're at. And it was,
my goodness, man.
So we're coming back on that. We finally get home and I get Judy in the house and the sirens go off.
Oh,
It was in the 60s yesterday. We had tornado warnings. Last night, the temperatures dropped. It's 28 degrees today. And we got winter storm warnings. It's supposed to snow today.
that's crazy.
I know. That's
The weather-
Oklahoma weather.
I was telling my wife earlier this morning before she left for work how crazy the weather's been, even here in Virginia.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when I went to work, it was 30-something degrees. It's like in the 60s today.
Yeah. Well, we just did the opposite. You
Yeah.
know, our high today is
So-
going to be 33. So we're right at snow range. I haven't looked out to see if it's snowing yet, but yeah, it was crazy. It was pouring. Yeah. Matter of fact, Greg, I told him, I said, now my electric has been intermittent because of this storm, and right in the middle of talking, it went down and came back up. He goes, "Oh, you mean like that?" I said, "Yeah, exactly." All right, I'm gonna get out of here so you can.
All
shut
right,
down
Lloyd,
the
you
show.
have a good one. Give my regards to Judy.
All right, and you say the same to your wife. And
All right.
guys, I'm out of here. Be nice to everybody. All right, catch you later. Thanks a lot, Rodney.
You're welcome, Lloyd.
All right.
All right, everybody in the chat. Glad you're here. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be doing it again next week. Meanwhile, you all have a great weekend. Be sure to check out the GoFundMe for Lloyd's for Judy's canine assistant. I know they'll appreciate it. And also, I want to mention Jim Crennan. The link for Jim Crennan is in the description. He is a veteran fighting cancer, and he needs our prayers and assistance as well. So check them both out. And y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow morning on the Sunday sunrise streams. Bye now.